Welcome back to Rush of Madness. This is session number 24 entitled Silver Lining. Last session, the group, under request by Eloise, one of the members of the Feywild Council, were instructed to enter into the temple on the southwestern side of Einkarad's center area, center portion of the settlement, and deal with well, not so much deal with the blight, but to go and get her an item she needs to recover her energies so that she can displace herself once again to reconvene with Fenmar and other members of the council who are currently having issues in the north, at the northern Great Tree. After completing that engagement, the group will have gathered what they've gathered, as we discussed last session, and they will head back to the council seating. Um, Before that happens, kind of during the process, Foxen, we're going to discuss your character's entrance to that same point. You were traveling along with three other individuals whose names have been offered to you. Um, they have led you through a portal south of Cardend, far to the south of Cardend. And when you entered into that space, you entered into a massive great tree, a very massive portal that basically breaks the veil between material and the Shazos. Uh, After entering into this space, you descended the tree. Inside of the tree, moved through a very small fishing village of elves, and then were taken aboard a very luxurious riverboat that basically seemed to move magically across the very still and very calm stream to the north. You were deposited at a small boathouse in the center point of Einkarad. And moving us to the map here, you should be able to see that just fine. It takes a couple seconds to load, but point is once you are deposited there, you are moved with the envoys, the two elvish envoys, along the pathways and up to the council seating, which is the place where you will begin this session, begin this game for you. And what's great about this is everybody can just go ahead and describe their characters while I eat a sandwich. And it's a nice long bit of me not having to say anything anymore. So we're gonna start with Tom. Elizabeth, you'll be next. So Tom, tell us about your character, how she would appear to an individual that is just approaching.
Castria is a young adult woman, kind of swaddled in a cloak, as you can see here, walking kind of meekly behind the rest of the party, but there is something a little unusual about her. You probably can't put your finger on it, but just something seems a little off about her.
What do you mean? She's a perfectly normal girl.
Perfectly normal.
And then
Your turn, Elizabeth.
Okay. I didn't know if you were done. Lose is a elf, and with red hair, average build. She carries a very long but thin blade at her hip. Right now she would be a little worse for wear with the 14 hit points.
Oh yeah, we're all covered in worms and blood. It's fine.
That's
Yeah, some worm guts, casual stuff. Yeah.
Jonah.
Jonah.
Hey, it's me. Okay. So Orlandis looks also like a young human male. He's adorned in this sort of ornamental armor. Most distinguished, or the most distinguishing part about it is the cape that he has. It's a little tattered, and he's a little bloody and full of worms and whatnot. But he also has a Parnan shield, an Elvish spear, and he sort of has an uh, a little defeated air about him because he couldn't open some doors last session. But it's okay.
Good.
Defeated by the old riddle of push or pull.
True that. That's it.
That's Zach.
Well, while he was defeated by the doors, my character made use of them excellently. My character's name is Astragoth Mizcath. He's a bugbear with a big bushy beard. He is a bardlock, essentially a warlock who I'm playing as a bard. His patron kind of being like his family and everything. But he loves to look good, and the path that he's on in life is that he's trying to make up for a past where he may not have been the best, and try to be a good person. And he loves giving hugs. Probably has to do with the big bushy beard.
Very kind of individual.
And then you're up.
Love to hear him sing.
And he's a vampire.
No.
Not actually.
We'll get into that lore a bit later. But Foxid, what does your character look like? And for help.
Okay, so. Oh. Popping it for me. It's
Brittany.
Ravok Longwhisker, his name. He is a ninja from a clan of ninjas that used to be part of a criminal organization, but they've long since split off, and he is trying to redeem his clan.
What does he look like? I'm sorry.
I don't think you need that.
He's not done with the sandwich yet.
I'm not done
Extend,
with the sandwich.
extend.
Gijo pointed it out very
He has
perfectly.
silver fur, yellow eyes, and very colorful attire. Lots of reds and greens and blues mixed throughout. He's like a cartoon ninja. But he does have a very cool hat that looks in disguise as anything.
Nice.
So another flashily dressed
Okay.
team member.
I suppose that's enough time for half a sandwich.
Half a sandwich.
Were
It's
you
okay.
able to get half the sandwich?
I got half the sandwich.
Yeah, I can keep going. Hold on.
No,
He's
it's
got,
okay.
He's got some
Everybody-
cool ass weapons.
I'm sure if Gijo were in here, they would have given me like, a bit more time. Would have definitely brought it. But
We could
it's
talk
okay.
about Orlandus's relationship with Lose's sister.
I do want to make sure you understand too. The audience is very much of the opinion that the town you're currently in should be burned to the ground. So just keep that in mind too. Okay.
There is an Eldritch Horror here?
Not
Right.
yet.
I will tell you right now, I have a preconceived bias against druids and all things druidic. So
Well, there's no druids here, so we're good.
I'm just
okay.
saying, it's a giant tree. It's close
That's
enough.
okay.
Tree equals druid. Kill all trees.
Should we
I love your
talk
bias.
about backstory while you eat?
No, absolutely not. You wouldn't know that, in character. Again, I was just wanting you to explain what each other look like as you kind of see each other. It's fine.
Gotcha.
We're good.
As someone who likes flashy clothes, I have to say that I definitely have a lot of respect for someone who intends to hide, but definitely wants people to look at him in a way that you wouldn't think that.
I feel like it's like wearing one of those like brightly like the neon yellow or green vests that construction workers wear,
Yeah. Or
hiding in plain
hunters.
sight.
Ah, so invisibility for
I
some.
literally have an ability called hide in plain sight.
Yeah.
Right. Could be wearing a bright white sheet, and it would still be fine. Although probably not a good choice. That said, so these folk approach, and so the primary characters, the ones who are already present in the campaign, will have arrived there after the rat folk and the others. The two or the three that are with Vravek, who are already in Congress with Eloise, are two Elvish envoys who look like they are they're not happy. They definitely have an appearance as if they kind of aren't happy. And seems to be mainly because they're talking to Eloise. And then the other individual that's part of their group, everyone in the group recognizes, with the exception of Bravik, Blothild.
Hey.
Ooh.
So she immediately sees you and walks over to Orlandis.
Oh.
I'm here for a very simple purpose. You, and as that's happening, the envoys are kind of moving away from the group, and the rat folk is kind of just left, at near this happening. So like socially, it's awkward. And on the trip here, this woman, Blathild, didn't talk much. Seemed to be kind of a person with a purpose, right? But when she immediately sees Orlandis, kind of walks up to him directly and says, "You left me something." Right?
Yes.
Well, he left you something. And she pulls out a parchment and hands it over to you. It seems to be a rolled up kind of piece of vellum with a kind of straw string kind of wrapped around it.
Okay. I'll open it and see what it is.
It's of no use to me because I can't get to it, but apparently Albrecht had holdings to the west of here. Well, southwest. And apparently near the coast, where the river deposits into the bay, he had a ship.
Hmm.
If you can go there and sell it to someone, use the currency to aid us in our efforts here, then that would be the most help I could presume you could get from it. But again, he left it for you, so it's yours to do with as you please.
So Orlandis would just look a little surprised and kind of heartbroken. But after reading the parchment, he'll simply put it away and thank you. But then I do not know what to say.
That's all I came for. Trying to work with the Whitecaps. They were kind enough to direct me, along with kind of gestures at Bravik and the envoys, these individuals who have business with. She points directly at Bravik. Didn't you have business with him as well? And points at Orlandis.
I do.
I don't know what that is, but I must be going. And she'll kind of head out.
Castor will wave.
Yeah. She kind of gives you a solemn glance, but then kind of like a proud look, a proud motherly look as she kind of turns and heads out.
Mama baby.
Leaving you kind of in this awkward spot where the rat folk and the warlord are kind of standing off.
So Orlandis will walk up to Bravik and he'll introduce himself. I am Orlandis.
I am Bravik. I will do business with you.
Do you work for the Whitecaps?
I do not. I do have many contacts there, though.
So, what is this business?
Bravik is going to reach into his pouch and he's going to pull out 5 sheets of paper.
Oh.
I am a bounty hunter.
I see.
I have been told that you killed one of my marks,
Could this...
Lysander Leoki.
He shuffles the papers and shows a poor sketching of the Master Lycoy, and it does say his full name. And yeah, Bogdan, if you want to repeat that.
What was the name again?
One. Where was it?
I'm sorry, I'm not putting it on you. I'm putting it on them. They never found out his first name.
Oh, it is
It was Evil McFartbutt.
Lysander.
Yeah.
Lysander Lightly.
Okay.
Oh.
That was his name.
Didn't even know.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I am glad he is dead, but I require proof of his death.
So
How good are you at mountain climbing?
Very good.
Okay, because I think the proof is like, well, the world split open, so you're gonna have to go like way.
It's really
Way down.
less mountain climbing and more splunking.
Wouldn't be the first time.
so he
Sorry.
he is
Where?
dead, but his entire manor is buried under rubble.
Not good.
A voice kind of just like sounds out across the platform. Excuse me. And Eloise, sitting in her mushroom throne, is kind of looking at your group. She crosses her legs, kind of sauntily, and like is staring at you. Kind of throws her green hair back and says, "This is an arena, an area for me to be addressed with audience. You have something for me?" Points at Orlandus.
I apologize.
Do you want to buy a
Yeah,
boat?
that's fine.
So Orlando's
Do you wanna
not
buy a boat?
realizing. Yeah, word. Orlando's not realizing. He'll walk up to Eloise and he'll. I'm sorry. I do have it. And he pulls out the hourglass with the green sand.
She takes it. She looks at it, smiling. Good, good. From what I could sense, the blight had worsened. Is that right?
It was really bad.
We had fought some creatures that came out of sort of flesh-like sacks and worms that came from the roots themselves.
Well, that's horrible. But Afenmar has returned. He's currently embedded in the tree, for the time being. So he won't be able to address the matters that he was hoping to in the north. From my understanding, the council has ruled that the north has fallen, and we are to no longer concern ourselves with the northern great tree any longer.
What
It
of
is the goal of the council to have some of our folk retreat from the Feywild to the material plane now that we have a point of egress. I was
What
hoping
if-
that you might be able to help facilitate that.
what of Delindra?
She is currently with her sister. I was told that she was sent away specifically on Afenmar's order.
So they
You're
know
just abandoning it?
It seems that is the case, Lose.
what happened.
The Fomorians in the north are not alone. It would seem that they have been joined by a contingent of Fey that have boiled up from the Fouldark. Are you familiar with Darklings?
No.
Flesh Twisters?
Castia will flip through the notebook she was left to see if there's anything about them in the Monster Hunter book.
Yeah, so Darklings you'd have. Darklings are basically a kind of strange Fey-like creature that are extremely capable at manipulating shadow to, like, allow them very pointed meetings with their opposition, meaning that they are stealth murderers.
Kind of like the Queen of the Six with the blade with the shadow hand.
Yeah, no, more like the rat folk you just got. Like, they're
Nice.
really good at like rogue shit.
Okay.
So they have some of those. They also have flesh twisters, which I mentioned, which aren't really a type of creature. It's more a profession. And I think the name kind of says it all in that regard. And then they have Dream Warpers, which are evil drow. And real quick, before we get into it, I just got to make sure this is 100% clear, because I know there are preconceived notions on drow. So I'm just going to get it out of the way, Fox, and here we go. Drow are not an evil species. They're not a bunch of evil, crazy people who worship a spider queen. Okay, they do worship a spider queen, but it's not an evil spider queen. Instead, the spider queen they worship is known as the Dreamweaver, Makema. And what their difference for why they go underground and hide away isn't because they're evil and they're the unseelie. It's because that they, instead of trancing into the Feywild after being put into the material plane, like elves do, like they reconnect with the Feywild, the drow, they trance into a dreaming, which is basically a world that they create as a collective, and for a lot of them, they just stay in it instead of staying in the material. And so they form these enclaves where they kind of hide away in dark spaces and are sustained by the dreaming. So they kind of form like LAN parties, massive LAN parties.
Like a hive mind, kind of.
Okay.
How good are they at Counter-Strike?
Well, exceptionally
They got all the
good.
vibes.
They're exceptionally good at counter-striking. Like, if their enclaves are attacked, like, they have a lot of countermeasures that are in place. And they also have their own form of guardians that they utilize.
Dang.
And then they also, if they get super serious, Dreamwalkers can exit the dreaming and fight in kind of an avatar-like state. Anyway, they're not like poison, backstab, kill, die. The reason why they're poison and knocks people to sleep is because once you're asleep, they can enter your dreams. It's not the same. But anyways, flesh.
Not evil.
Yeah, not always
true.
evil.
Not evil.
Not always.
Not evil.
They are as evil as any other species in the game. Like I
They're
don't
just
think
as
I
evil as
have
humans.
undead are like typically evil, but that's just because they're death serving instead of life serving, and that's part of that dichotomy instead. Anyway,
Evil.
clear on the drow. Moving back to what I was saying. So, Dream Twisters, which are basically evil drow, who focus on twisting the minds of their opposition. And they seem to be being led by an unknown entity, but according to a Fenmar, so says Eloise, it is considered that this creature might be one of the six.
Oh,
Is
shit.
that the
What
play?
what is that?
What is that?
Zach, what's
Oh,
Squeaky
happening?
toy.
probably
It's
Zach's
my dog with a sweet toy. I'm sorry.
I was like, is that okay? Is that
It
thing
sounded like
okay?
screaming.
Yeah.
It sounded
Oh
like screaming.
no, it's and he sleeps all day.
You mentioned
and-
an annoying
and-
cat. I thought it was a cat like screaming in the background. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, no,
No, that
he
comes
sleeps
later.
all day, but the moment that he realizes that I'm talking to people, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna let everyone know that I'm here as well."
Same time.
Dad, let them know I'm here.
He wants to be part of it.
Yeah.
We can give him a character, a little dog.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We'll pick him up. Give him
You
treats.
can't play a flesh twister, Brent. Never ever. Now, a barn burner, yes. Okay, so
I thought he's already played that.
I don't think he's ever played.
Oh wait,
yeah.
house burner. Sorry,
No. Anywho,
he burned his own.
it
house,
is
didn't he?
posited by the council that Einkarad is not in the best of places to hold. And though I feel it is a bit of a snap judgment on the part of the council, I was not in the conflict to the north for very long, so my assessment of their capabilities is limited comparatively.
Was that a a physical description of the six, of one of the six?
It was not an individual that was seen by anyone, and Fenmar, if he did see them, has been very limited with what he has been willing to grant to the other members of the council. Those that still yet live.
Okay.
And if you kind of follow up on that chain, I will point out that she would state that Fenmar was greatly wounded, has re-entered the tree to restore himself. Billiam was killed,
Jesus.
and Eris
Billiam was
Omnisma was killed. So Jenthin, Talindra, Eloise, and Fenmar are the only remaining members of the council.
So who was it? Billiam and who got killed?
Billiam is dead,
Mm-hmm.
and Eris Omnisma is dead.
Dang.
And Eloise would point out that it's everyone on the council's impression that Eris was the most powerful of them.
Dang. Well, that fucking sucks. Okay.
Well,
Can I ask you one more question?
You can ask me as
Eloise.
many as you like.
The area around the northern Great Tree, was it covered in this silver grass?
No.
Is there an area near there that is covered in like a silverish grass?
That I know of. Again, I've only been there the once. Why do you ask?
This is just in a hypothesis, but if it is true, then the one of six that is leading the Fomorians could be the Queen of Six.
Could be the case that that is true, and if my understanding of your reports are accurate, you are the one who unleashed this upon us.
We
But-
did.
That is not a situation that I am really concerned with at the moment. My main concerns are, as they always have been, the maintenance of Einkarad and the ensurement that the blight does not spread further therein. And now, the desire that if anyone who wishes it will leave this place with you back to Carden. If you wish to remain and fight on, you may. But based on the lady who came and gave you whatever document that is, and this individual here, this dapper young folk, if their business is pressing in the material, then it might be such that you are needed there more than you're needed here. Talindra is not being held away, I assure you. If my friendship with Pyria has taught me anything about Lady Talindra, it is my absolute certain guess that she is currently trying to persuade Zavarius Academy headmasters to come and aid in this matter here.
Will it work?
Talindra is quite persuasive. Very well
Mm.
could. It just depends on their knowledge of the situation here, and whether or not the threat is too grave for them to act upon it or not.
How do you all feel about staying here at least one more day? He's gonna turn to the rest of the party.
I mean, as long as we don't go in, we don't stay in the temple. I'm fine.
And so, looking at the papers and parchments that Vravik showed you, obviously the one that stood out stood out. But another one did actually seem familiar, especially to Astrogoth, because Astrogoth has actually seen the man. It appears to have been the captain of the Denisotvan forces that were present at Card End.
That guy.
That fucking asshole.
You've seen this man.
I have.
I've lost track of them.
I believe they were heading. Was he part of the group that I found out was heading to the north?
Correct. Yeah. So every single Denisotvan in Carden headed over the river to the opposite shore, the fort on the opposite side, Fort Whitestone. Whether they stopped and remained there or continued on up the mountain, Mount Balthanir, is not certain.
But at least I have a good idea knowing where you could start looking for him.
I would appreciate it.
And
It
I'll
seems you have your own troubles.
I mean, what bard doesn't have trouble? And yeah, I'll go over what I had seen and everything, so catch him up to speed.
Yeah. And so the captain's name, just to clarify it to get it out, is Stonic Lotto. And one of the 5 papers that you saw Bravik kind of holding looked like it had some sort of mark on it. And this is up to you, Foxen. What would you basically do to the parchment once you've completed the contract? Like a stamp, or like an etching, or like, scratch or something? Like, what would be your kind of like tell for the contract being completed?
He would cut his finger and just put a little red
Tread
line through it.
Perfect. So yeah, one of the
Mhm.
documents has a red line on it, as described just then, and the individual who is noted on that for Orlandis is kind of a strange sight. It appears to be a. Let me get my notes out here. And again, the name isn't right on the top of my head. It is important, but again, you guys know me and my memory. I have none. That's why I record everything. It's easier this way.
Steve?
It's easier this way? What did you just say?
Steve.
Steve. His name is Steve.
Okay, yeah.
No, it's relatively important. It's just not on the top of my mind. The point is it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. Sorry.
It's not one of my retainers, is it?
No, your retainers are perftly fine.
Okay,
They're staying
okay.
at Blathill.
For now.
Your retainers
Oh.
are obviously not worth murdering. Like,
Good.
it
They're good people.
is.
You don't know. You don't know my prices.
Oh God, why? It's like right there, at the top of my brain.
Is it an agitator?
No, it is a uncle of yours.
Oh, fuck. Not my uncle.
Barrick Sento.
Oh, fuck.
And so
Barrick.
Barrick Sento, what you know of him is he is obviously your mother's brother, right? Because that's how uncles work. I learned about this in the past. Eliana Sento being your mother. And he, like you, was of the Aeten tradition. But unlike you, he was not as well reputed or good at keeping his positions in Parnak. So you know that he was sent past Sorrowgate to the west. So he's somewhere in and about these regions. And what his business is, you're not sure. But if you take a look at the document, what you'll note is that he is wanted for a stipend of, I think it was 2,000 gold pieces for that specific contract. For the crimes of betrayal
Dang.
at the highest order, which in Parnan law means that he betrayed the government, so like treason. And then conspiracy to assassinate.
Oh, Jesus. Come on, Barrick. Come on, Uncle Barrick.
You'll note that Master LaCoy has the same conspiracy to assassinate as like the reason why there's a bounty on his head.
Be your own home. And suspicion for assassinating.
No. Conspiracy to assassinate, not a suspicion. It is
Sorry.
there was a conspiracy.
Conspiracy to assassinate, so they send an assassin.
Yeah.
My bad.
We'll show you how it's done.
Well, the bounty hunter's not an assassin, but also yes.
So, is on Barrick Cento, is there that red line?
Yes, Barrick Sento's the one that the bounty hunters dealt with.
Okay,
And I'm
so
gonna disappear for a couple seconds as you two fight in character.
so Orlandis is gonna point to the piece of paper. What does this red line mean?
Contract complete.
For a moment, you see a really serious look on Orlandis's face. So he's dead.
Yes.
Oh, one point. So you want a memento or icon that basically shows you killed the person? So I'm leaving this up to you, Foxen. Go as descriptive as you want. Whatever part of the body or item or article you think would basically.
Oh my
but
god. No,
if you wanted to prove the death,
I'm gonna pull that head out of my bag.
Jesus.
as hard as
Your
you want-
uncle really wanted to see you, Jonah.
Wow.
I slowly reach for my. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn, already.
Oh man, I'm gonna die.
So what memento do you pull up? Oh,
I don't know, what would I take from someone like that?
I don't know.
So for nobility in Parnak
Signet ring. or
Probably like a ring or something, yeah.
ring, there's also documents. You can actually in Jernaris or Parnak, and also slightly harder, but in Seria, you can get an official death certificate for a person
Nah,
Like-
I'm not gonna do
from like the local offices they're in. So if like you killed him in a town and then collected the bounty, like you could have gotten an official death certificate at that point.
Well, first of all, I would like to know why you care. Why are you asking?
This man is my uncle.
Rob, I can immediately goes on the defensive. Hand on his fucking blade.
Orlandis is still holding the same posture. But yes, this man is my uncle.
They reach into his pouch and pull out a signet ring and a amulet. Then you might want these.
Is it okay if I take a look?
Hands them over. Actually, hands them to Los since it's here. You give it to
Pass them over.
So he takes a look at both of the items. Can I assume they're both of House Alaire?
Hmm?
Yeah. Oh, damn. Okay.
No, sorry, House Sento.
Oh, House Sento. Okay. So he, like, for just like a minute, he takes like a longing look, kind of remembering his past with, you know, his family and stuff. And he hands them straight back to Ravik. And he's like, Did you find proof?
Yes. Well, You can keep the ring, by the way. He goes into his bag and pulls out another long bundle of parchment, like an entire diary almost,
Jesus.
and hands it over.
I read the shit.
Yeah. So when you kind of get into it, like in the short order, and are also probably maneuvering away from this space, as Eloise is constantly just kind of like huffing and puffing, like, include me, talk to me. We're at my audience site. Why aren't
You're
you
like
saying
the
things?
third huff and puff.
I asked her if
They
she
would,
wanted
like,
to buy a
shoo
boat.
away.
But why did I buy this boat? I don't have any water. Oh, just a sea of Kurno basket. Nobody wants
Yeah,
to sell
yeah.
that shit.
Castiel like slap the top of the boat and be like, "Look how many Feywild refugees you can fit in this baby."
Why? What are we gonna do? Take them out the storm sea? No thanks. But as you kind of look into the documents, what you'll realize is that he took extensive notes. He was a quite capable note taker. It seems like to his detriment, though, because he appears to, from what you can gather, have been the weakest link in this very strange grouping of individuals. It was the goal of the conspiracy of these three individuals. One of the unnamed parties, Master Lycoi, and your uncle, to kill the ruling body of the city of Penford in Levidia. So I'm going to bring us back to the big map, just so we can kind of get an understanding of the location, and also change the music to something a little bit more upbeat. Nope, didn't do it. I'm going to change it myself, though, then. Let's see.
No, this is perfect. Tenses are high.
I want it to be more upbeat, because for me, this is, like, really exciting and fun.
Kinda hyped
Play some
to getting
airship
into
music.
Parnak lore.
Play some airship music. Okay, so we're looking at the regional map first.
Mm-hmm.
And as we discuss this, I'll basically be working through it with you. So you currently reside in a section of the map known as Anundia. Anundia actually was referential more to the thing to the west, the space in between Scoria, a kind of hellscape, and the desert lands that lead up to the shore, the coast. You can kind of see them on the map there on the western side.
Yes.
This section that you're in was actually once part of Greater Levidia, which is the part to the north, the northern coast area. And the capital of Levidia is Penford, this big-ass city off to the side there. The reason why you're no longer considered to be a part of Levidia is because the Denisotvince took over Cardend in the region that you're in. I don't know if you're familiar with Denisotvince yet, Foxen, but they're basically a human species that come from the west, and they claim to be descendants of the true Jernarans, the ones that served the dragon during the War of Sword and Serpent. The only difference between a Denisotvan and a bog standard human is that Denisotvan's have quite longer arms. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with Souls games, like Dark Souls and shit, but their arms kind of go down to like the lower portion of their thigh or knees.
Oh no, not one of those guys.
Yeah. So they're basically the same, just slightly longer arms. It gives them some benefits in combat, obviously, but we won't get too much into that. So the Denisotvan's a decade ago took over this region, and they've held Cardend, occupied Cardend, since up until not too long ago, when the Albric's agitators killed Master Lycoi, and through some fuckery sent the whole ass manor house and the region around it into a hole in the ground. Good work. The Council of Penford, the ruling body of Penford, is very powerful in that it still has political attachments to Parnak and the rest of mainland Jernarus, which Jernarus' most powerful asset is a group known as the Conglomerate, which is a body of mages that are extremely focused on the laws of magic. And what I mean by the laws of magic is, like, who gets to cast spells and what spells they get to cast. Any questions regarding the conspiracy?
Yes. Who, like, they were planning on killing the royal,
Not royal. So Penford doesn't
or the
have
ruling.
a it doesn't have a rule. It doesn't have a noble or royal structure. It has a ruling group, a council.
Okay. Yeah. So Barrick and Lysander, or Evil McFartbutt,
Evil McFartbutt, right?
were working
That's
with
his friends called him.
That's what
a
his friend-
third individual.
Mhm.
Is there a name for that third individual in my uncle's notes?
Yes, there is, and I just needed to get to my notes to find it. And so this third individual who has a contract on them, and this is going to be a fun one. I hope you're ready for it. Kevar Varnador.
Really?
Did we meet him?
Tom, I'm gonna let you type that.
Oh, that's oh fuck. Oh my god. Why? Why would you do this, John?
So that's the.
Am I set up to just murder this man's entire family? What is
Perhaps.
that?
So let me go ahead and post the name there in the in Fox Inside chat, just so he has it for his contract list. There's one contract I haven't given you the name for, but I probably will by the end of this conversation. It's not one that'll make them do what they just did there. That name is kind of a. Ooh.
Jonah, at least it wasn't Victicus, because we'd never be able to help him with that one, because nobody can get inside that fucking house.
Sure.
Correct.
Oh, we found the rat.
Literally.
Fucking shit, man.
You found the rat, who then gave you the rat.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great. I couldn't write better, so.
God damn it.
Kinda did.
I
I
kind
really
of
did.
You kinda did.
At the same time, I did not choose for there to be a rat.
No. But you made it work.
Also, how dare you
I mean-
know where this music is from?
It's obvious. What?
Anyway. Sorry.
Hey,
Yeah, Wilden.
Don't mention it. No, the wild is in the tree.
Castor could go knock on the tree. I'm sure that'll go well.
Oh my
I
god.
love Cassia.
oh, let's not do that.
Cassia has had problems with trees. Or boons with trees? I can't.
I've been highly successful with trees, / highly dangerous to people that live in trees.
Which, again, I think Foxen likes, because Foxen doesn't like druids. Or dryads. Or both. Or trees. I think it was just trees. I can't remember.
Trees in general.
Trees in general.
Oh,
Fuck them trees.
Fuck them trees.
trees should
The
build
Lorax wants to know your location.
Fuck those trees that talk.
Oh, Ents, I love them.
Hmm.
Anywho,
So Kavar Varnador was
Kavar
the
Varnador
third name.
is one of the contracts that he has, and is also one of the people listed in the conspiracy. However, Vravik, you do not have any whereabouts for Kavar Varnador. All you have on them is the conspiracy charge, and that the last place that they were seen was a town called Swordbreak. So you know that one was basically next on the docket. As you kind of came into the space through like the Middlelands, you didn't actually enter in too much of Levidia because there's a kind of war going on up there. But Swordbreak I'll put on the map here so you have it visible, because obviously you're going to go there, you know where it's at, right?
Hope so.
Add to map layer. So yeah, Swordbreak is not snap pinging. Swordbreak is a bit north of where you're located.
I don't know.
This farm's fuck.
Not too bad.
Hey, okay.
It's just not too bad.
Now, is Parnak on this map?
No, so we're gonna move the map so we get an understanding of kind of spatiality, and hopefully this works.
Hey,
Okay, so this is the continent map. The red square, for lack of a better kind of descriptor, is where you're located. All right.
okay.
The yellow line is kind of poorly drawn across the map there. That is the Jernaris Parnak border. Okay? Because it's not very clearly shown on the original map. But you'll also notice that north of Srednigorod and kind of south of Persna is another borderland. So Leviat, the province to the north of Jernaris, is there. And so where you're located, desert land, Scoria, and then New Heistrik is kind of in its own little oasis on the outskirts of Scoria. Scoria is a wasteland, and when I say a wasteland, I don't mean like a desert. I mean like if you've ever played Magic the Gathering and know a bit what happens when like the Eldrazi kind of like decimate a land.
Nothing.
Yeah, or yeah. Basically, it is completely deprived of sustenance and life, which is
Nice.
possibly why the people who were living there left it and are trying to reclaim better land. But yeah, that land is. Go ahead. Sorry.
So my people are from Scoria.
Correct.
Way back in the day.
The wastes. They get along well. Rat folk are pretty ingenious. Anywho, so this map I hope gives you kind of an understanding of where we're at. Parnak is as a province the yellow line all the way to over here, and then all the way up to the mountains. It's kind of one of the larger human focused provinces.
Nice.
And
Now,
so
where-
we discussed that you're kind of from the kingdom of Sorrowgate, right, Jonah?
No, we actually never did.
Okay. Well, it's probably the case that you're either from the kingdom of Sorrowgate or you're from the kingdom of Aegon.
Okay.
One of the western two. Hell, it might be the case that you're from. Hold on a second here. Actually, let's just do that. That'll tie it a lot easier in for me, I think. What is the name of my city in my cool little triumvirate?
Evil McFart Butt.
Shisho, if you're watching and you have it on hand, just go ahead and type it in the chat. But is it Tiamat? Open. Maybe. No, that's the continent. What is the city name? Sorry, thanks, folks, for being patient with me.
Okay.
What's the name of this fucking city?
I've got to go to Whiterun.
Right, why don't I name cities like super easy, dumb, easy things to remember, like they do in those cool...
Welcome to Cityburg.
There's literally a Whiterun on this map. I'm gonna go tell the Jarl.
Is there a
about the
White
crack.
Run on there? Oh, there is
Sure
a White
is.
Run and White Bay. This is a very old map, by the way.
Oh.
Like,
Gotta go tell the Jarl.
it might be older than Skyrim. But at the same time, again, I should probably change that. You're right. White Bay, I'll leave, but White Run I need to change. God damn it.
You could call it White Walk.
White Saunter.
Welcome to White Jog.
White Jug. You know what? I like it. I do like it. I am gonna go with it. I think that's what we're gonna.
You could do the type of thing where the people visiting, they're told it's not White Jog, it's White Yog. You gotta.
Get it right.
Oh God, why? I know the name of the people, but I don't know the name of the town. Oh, wait, I do know the name of the town. It's Vehico. The
Vehico?
Vegitech people. Yeah. So, Parnak, little known fact, The Vazriel people is an umbrella term for the people who kind of rose up and kind of created the Aten folk. It's a very diverse grouping of individuals. So calling them all Vazriel is kind of a limiter, really, on the historical nuances therein. And so the people on the western side of Parnak, Aegon, Sorrowgate, and to a very much lesser degree Persala, which was mostly Elvish, are kind of based, at least from our kind of building process me and Jijo are working on, are kind of based on Nahuatl kind of cultures in real life. So
Nice.
just as a heads up. But yeah, it definitely has Aegon rather definitely has kind of a melting pot mentality, and I think Vehiko is the city that kind of maintains the strongest connection to its roots therein, and is also one of the more popular trading cities.
Is Vehiko in Aegon or Sargate?
It'd be an Aegon.
Aegon? Okay.
And yeah, I've got a map of that, and I've got lore for that place, so we can just do
Nice.
that, and I'll send that to you later. Cool. Laziness is the best policy. Just reuse assets. I could be like a Souls game too. Anywho, so yeah, Parnak. Like having this connection and having it be so close to the border, it could be the case that the reason why this conspiracy is happening is political, but it could also just be, they didn't like the leadership of Levitia. You don't know for certain what the goal of the conspiracy is. Fox and Bravik just has evidence that the conspiracy has been happening, and they were attempting to kill these council members.
Mm.
And you have
Does-
been hired by government bodies, Parnak and Jernar's base, via bounties, to kill them.
Do
Or
the
bring them.
parchments say why he decided to do this?
No, there's no. It's more.
It's just detail oriented.
To
Like,
be fair, your uncle was probably not unlike you, and is kind of dry. It isn't really like an emotional ballad of like, oh, he's mad at this person.
Or maybe he was half smart.
That's
He
fair.
burned some.
that's fair.
He burned some of it.
Perhaps maybe he burned the emotional bits. Yeah, that works.
Probably.
He's like, oh, I probably should.
He thought he heard me coming, decided to try to get rid of it.
He got rid of the first page, which was like, why I did it. And you're like, well, no, I know what he did, but why did he do it?
What?
He
Whisker
stole
tap.
my prom date. A bastard.
But yeah, that's where we are at on that.
So yeah, Orlandus will hand back the parchments. He's definitely saddened at the fact that his uncle did that, but it is what it is.
His sins aren't yours.
Very true. With the knowledge, with the knowledge of Kavar being on there and we knowing where he is,
Or where he
I'm assuming
was.
no, he went to Hawksters. That's right.
Yeah. Or where he was.
Nope, true that. Fuck. So many issues.
It's
Okay.
almost like I'm good at this.
Damn. So he hands back the parchments, and we. I do not know what to say of Kevad. He was one of the people who helped us get rid of Lysander, the Lycoy.
Am I being played?
No.
I do not make a kill without research.
This is all recent, but the proof is there. He might be. I don't know. He might be.
Oh, I want to say my condolences, but at the same time, it's kind of like sorry. Okay.
People changes of hearts.
I'm eating a
sometimes,
brownie.
but-
Fucking just look at
Sorry.
it. Wow.
Sorry, Elizabeth. I
Wow.
got you off. Go.
What?
You were saying something. I cut you off. Right? So
Oh.
By the change.
Some people have change of heart. Don't know if he did or not. Maybe he's backstabbing him. Kind of literally. Meaning, like, Kavar might have, like, gotten rid of the Lycoid to kind of, like, backstab him in a way. I don't know.
But do you think, out of character, did we tell Kavar about the dwarves?
Did we?
Can't remember. I
I
can't
think we
remember if
did.
we did.
We
We
did.
did, didn't we? Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Piece of shit. Okay.
That they were dead.
Surprised.
No,
this is
did
the
we-
first time you guys have actually wondered why.
Oh.
Yeah, he's probably the one. Yeah.
Damn.
Oh.
Damn, that sucks.
Yep.
No. That's awesome. For me.
No, it's for you, yeah.
Oh man, that's good. That's satisfying narrative when the
Damn.
players get it.
That some bitch.
Damn,
Which
dude.
played you all.
He really did.
That was a
Um,
long game.
So,
Mm.
one thing that you note, and I just want to make sure that this is abundantly clear. Varnador and his 2 kids lived in that house.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Varnador and his 2 kids left with Hawkroost.
Mm-hmm.
Right around the same time that the Sophins left.
Yeah.
Damn.
So is Hawk's Roost part of the Denizat then? Is that why they
Hawkroost,
didn't?
according to what you know, is a secret society of individuals who have a lot that they weren't willing to let you in on their games, but they said they had a much grander idea on what to do with the Denisovans. And this, my friends, is the fun part. This is where you get to think about what that means. Oh, and then I'm going to give you the 5th person, just because...
What do you
it's-
think? This is Tuesday game?
No. Nobody's going to have to sacrifice themselves at the end of this. But the 5th person, I just want to make sure that that one's thrown out there. It's not going to be like don't expect anything from this, because the name probably won't mean shit to anybody.
Okay.
I just need to get into my nose here. Might need somebody in the chat, but we'll see. Hold on. La 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 la. Right, found it. Alazar Velodius. I'll type that out in the chat. That would be the 5th member of the 5th individual rather, that is on the list of contracts that,
Wait, is that someone they've been to Sunday?
maybe?
Alazar Melodius?
Alazar Velodius.
Oh, Velodius.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Hey, Brent. Paying attention, buddy?
Burning down the house.
So, according to Alazar Velodius' contract sheet, 3 stipends for why he is currently on a 10,000 gold piece bounty lock. Number 1, conspiracy to assassinate. Number 2, conspiracy to usurp. and the third, AWOL, effectively, from Conglomerate Standing.
Huh.
What is it called? When you run away from like military responsibility.
AWOL.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's AWOL, but there's like an actual
Yeah.
word that's not.
I mean, there's
Is it?
missing an action in
No,
there.
no. It's like it's a D word.
Oh.
Desertion.
Desertion.
Yeah, there it is.
Desertion.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you. You know me in words. And fucking Brent, 2 seconds later, deserter.
Yeah.
And yes, Brent,
'cause we're on a delay.
Alizar Velodius did help you. That's right.
If I'm... No, because they had contact, right? There was one conglomerate. No, there was two conglomerate agents that came to Cardend in the earlier sessions.
Neither of them was
One of
Alizar.
them, none of them were important.
No, I didn't say they weren't important.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think we even got their names.
We didn't. We got one name.
What was it?
I don't remember.
Ooh, that'd be really important if you took that note.
Let me get my.
I just scroll all the way up. Hold on.
We just go back to session 2 on the VOD.
Yeah, just watch it. Just watch the videos. It helps me get like my video count up, and people think I'm popular, and then they start watching for no reason. But it also
That's
helps
true.
you because then you get to know what you did or what was said. It's
Yeah,
a
that's
win-win.
true.
No. So no, Brent, I want to quash that real quick. It was not
Langdon.
Josh's character. No.
Yeah.
Josh's
Langdon.
character is very much more cooler than that. Josh's character is Ruben Nyreel Runali,
Who is a
the
very good
commander
boy.
of the Western Watch and master of the forces of the Conglomerate and Jernaris against the Denisotvan invasion.
And a very,
Very
good
different.
boy.
He's the goodest boy. One might
Yeah.
say the best boy.
Best boy.
So we got.
Hyde's 6th sheet of paper.
So
Brandon was like,
Just quick, he draws like a stick figure. Fucking spells out the name as best he can. It's like Ruben spelled like the sandwich. It's like
Might be important.
picture as a stick figure holding a sandwich.
Maybe he just wants to murder a sandwich. I mean, that's what you were doing earlier, right, John?
Real talk, yeah. I wanted to murder the shit out of that sandwich. You guys wouldn't talk long enough.
So Langdon was picked up from Penford
Mhm.
by the Denizatvans
Mhm.
as a prisoner.
Mhm.
And then another conglomerate agent that we did not get to talk to because we freaked him the fuck out
Mhm.
was like, haha, no, not gonna do that. And then we tried to get into contact with the individual that the second conglomerate individual.
Right. Because you figured they'd have a lot in common.
Yeah, because conglomerate.
did not.
They
They
met at
didn't.
Hawksroost, and then they kind of disappeared off your radar.
Yeah. I don't
These
like
are all
that.
correct statements.
I don't like that at all.
I love it.
You would.
And I do
So
want to put
the-
forward the argument that the conglomerate is cool, despite me trying to demonize them in both the Friday and the Tuesday games.
They're evil.
They were evil. They were evil.
They're still evil
God damn it.
Oh no.
to this day.
Heresy.
Well, then join the Dennis Oddmans. What have you been doing this whole fucking game?
My arms aren't long enough, John.
They don't care.
So yeah, there's that missing conglomerate man that we don't know about, but he also went to Hawk's Roost
Mm-hmm.
with Langdon,
Mm-hmm.
and then James Abbott also went to Hawk's Roost. Son of a bitch.
James Abbott's not on the list.
No, I don't mind that.
For now.
I have an issue with James Abbott working with the Hawk's Roost that we just figured out could also be working with the Denizatvans as their quote-unquote grander plan. Don't like that. Don't fucking like it.
So, What you will
But
note,
we have a Hoxer's member.
you've been shooed away from the council position. I just want to make sure that we understand the setting before we get into more character conversation. But it does look like a number of elves are gathering, and they are gathering at the arena, kind of in the center of the space. For what reason, you're not sure, but they're kind of coming out of the woodwork, so to speak. Like every single elf that you've probably passed by or seen just in passing seems to be headed this way.
Literally.
Oh, because there's buildings, yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Burp is incoming. Trying to make it not happen very loudly and grossly. But yeah,
Just do it.
no, it's not happening.
Permeate my eardrums.
No.
Ew,
How would you like to proceed? Again, continue talking, or if you want to do something else, that's fine too.
So we all see that the elves are meeting together.
Yeah, it seems like they're being pulled or called into the amphitheater. Yeah.
Okay. Orlandis is gonna stop in his tracks and he's gonna ask, should we go listen to what they have to say?
pose.
Ravik, I will give you as much information as I can involving that list.
Very well.
Do you mind following us?
The
Alright. And then we go to the amphitheater
Okay. So
to
you get there
listen.
about the time that they've kind of already begun whatever process they're beginning. And what you're hearing is Eloise is basically explaining in Elvish. So if you speak Elvish, then you understand what's going on. If you don't, then you don't. But it seems like Jonah left his mic on and it's just smashing stuff.
Sorry, had to turn on my light.
No problem. So it does seem that they are gathering and being told by Eloise the situation. And those who wish to flee to safety in Carden have been offered the opportunity to do so. Let's say you don't expect a single one of them to really be up for the idea of it. And little to, I mean, again, not surprising you, no one really is volunteering or desiring to go into the material plane.
Right. Don't blame him, but
Not a thing that they're desiring. What you do see that there are about 6, a lot less than you remember there being, Twilight Knights. So that leads you to assume that they have not been refilling their number from the previous 30 or so that they had. 6 Twilight Knights is a strong force to be sure, but it's not
Yeah.
not great.
30.
Yeah.
A little concerning, but kind of just seeing them give up, it seems.
After kind of like a duration where the elves are basically explaining their reasons for not wanting to go, an hour or so passes, and Eloise explains to everyone then that they should prepare, and if they have any means of defending Ainkarad, that they should, and if they don't, or even if they do, and they wish to remain here, she will, as they're leaving, give them something that will aid them in this effort. And to each individual who passes out that is a native of Ainkarad, she will hand a single white mushroom. It appears to be similar to, if anyone's, Astrogoth I think would probably be the only one who would recognize it. It appears to be a magic mushroom. Magic mushrooms have a spontaneous effect that's generated when they're consumed or imbibed, and they can kind of create.
Is it a
magic.
known effect?
It isn't. So it's random. me see if I can't find my handout here for it. La 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 la. Do, do.
Makes them big, one makes them throw fire.
Yeah. Baby cat, no.
Why is he being bad?
It is Nayland. He is a dum-dum.
Oh.
You've actually seen magic mushrooms before, I think, somewhere in this campaign, because you have the handout available to you.
Yeah, down in the cave.
Yeah, in the cave
Yeah,
there were some.
cave.
Yeah,
They
when
all
we,
got
it was,
trash.
yeah, it was in the Black Forge. No, not Black Forge. Black Spear? Spear? Where the Durgar were.
So yeah,
And they
obviously
all died.
some of these effects would be, not great. Like 4. But some of them could prove beneficial.
Sure.
It's the best that she can do.
Is a Fenmar here?
He has not been called out of the tree yet, no.
Shit.
He's recovering.
Yeah. Dang. Need to have a word with him. So, does the town meeting complete?
It does, and like I said, everybody kind of leaves, and as they're leaving, they are granted the magic mushroom by Eloise.
Can Orlandus go to Eloise and talk to her?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was hoping more would leave. I'm sorry, your services won't be needed in escorting them out of the Feywild.
That is fine. But Eloise, is there a way that I can speak to Fenmar?
He's currently at rest. I apologize. I don't think so.
Do you think we have enough time to wait for his rest?
I came into this settlement as a stranger, understanding that the ways and means that they have presented themselves in keeping are theirs and theirs alone. When he stated that he is at rest in the tree, and he says he will be out when he is out, I leave him to it. I do not wish to rush him.
No,
Nor will
that
I.
is not what I mean. I mean, the Fomorians, are they coming here?
I don't believe they are. There are some defenses that are in between us and the northern tree. Natural defenses, and also things that wander about in the forests. You probably saw some of these creatures in the woods as you traveled south, but there are greater ones still in the deeper forests, and for them to move between trees, they would have to enter into these deeper spaces.
Are there other allies that you can call upon, aside from the school?
Not particularly, no. Unfortunately, the nature of the Feywild is our settlements are few and far between. After the fall of Tulumera, it was our desire to wander instead of build. We still have some great places that we call home, but the truth of the matter is that the Fey spirit has changed significantly since those olden days.
Shit. Is there any entity or something or another that would be willing
She
to
stops
help?
you and places her hand on your shoulder. I know your tradition forces you to desire protecting elves. That war is long gone, and your duty is long since spent. Your ancestors did what was needed. I understand your hope to help here, but I assure you, the longer you linger, the more you put yourself in danger here. I would simply ask Orlandis of Parnak? Do you wish to die in this foreign place? A soldier fighting for people too stupid to understand that they are truly in danger, and too stupid to know when to retreat, simply because they abhor what rests on the other side of the veil? Is that what you desire more than anything? She looks over at Lose if she's nearby and says, "That's why you left."
You're not wrong.
So, Orlandis takes a moment and, like, truly thinks about all of the things that he's learned. And the only response he can come up with is, "We are privileged to breathe, to taste the air. It is the last gasp of all who have died before us." And he sort of, like, grips his hand really tight, and he's like, "I do not care if I die. But I do not want this town to die for my actions."
Oh, sweet mortal child.
Very noble.
This town has never been alive. Not in the way that a human town would be. As a wanderer myself, I have traveled here and there, all throughout the plains. I understand. And she kind of raises her hand up, and a mushroom kind of blossoms from her palm. The
Mhm.
nature of life and death. And as she says that, the mushroom kind of wilts away in her palm. What I don't understand is that those who have been given this gift, their desire to so quickly throw it away. If you wish to remain, I cannot stop you, but I can assure you I have already put into place measures to make these who would stay, who are unable to fight, a swift and sweet, painless end.
Orlandis kind of, like, steps back from her a little bit, like, sort of a gasp. Or a gasp. We would kill these people.
You understand that the blight is powerful, yes?
Yes, I've seen it with my eyes, but what is the point of stopping the blight if you are just to kill them at the sight of a fight?
No. It's already lost, Orlandis. You see. Don't you understand? She gestures off to the western side. It has been kept at bay, but you've seen what it's done. What it can do. If you gathered this up, and she pulls it off of her belt and holds up the hourglass. If
Mhm.
you were able to attain this, you must have seen what is possible. Do you think a Fomorian could stand against hundreds of those? Thousands? How many elves did you see there? Wasted flesh.
She means the ones that were
Yeah.
entangled in the roots, right?
Yeah.
Shit.
Make an insight check, everyone.
I think I don't need to know one to know that she's.
Do you understand what she's suggesting here? Like, can we just
Yeah.
like put that out on the table? Yeah, that's good.
I got an
Nat
8.
20.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure Tom and
I don't think I need the insight
that-
check to
Do
get the
you-
menacing. She's gonna use them as.
Yeah, she just gave them mushrooms to eat.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So out of character, I
I
know
roll
she's gonna use those bodies to create her own blight creatures.
Welcome,
And she's gonna use them
Foxen.
to kill
I love
the
how I rolled a 7. This
Yeah.
is so in character. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, just like
Welcome to the club.
fucking what?
Like, what? I'm just sitting here like just talking about death. Like, oh my god damn, what the fuck
I
else?
just got
You-
here.
you-
I'm here
Where
for
you
about
going,
10.
right?
Like, I'm an assassin, but goddamn, lady, calm down.
I imagine Astragoth just comes up next to him and he's like, "Yeah, you'll get used to it. Don't worry."
It's fucked up around here. It's fucked
I
up.
don't know if I wanna.
Help me.
You're gonna lean over to Lil say, is she okay?
The Astronaut just grabs the rat. Like, help me!
Help me. Get out while you still can.
We're not that bad. I mean, maybe we are.
He's a skidder and runs away.
There is a holy water elemental.
So with an 8, I'm assuming that I don't know what she means,
No, you're
or
not.
Landis doesn't know. Okay.
I mean,
Dang.
mostly knows.
Yeah.
The two of your friends right behind you go, what the fuck?
I think it is best that we go back then. Take a look at this boat that you seem to have acquired. Looks at Orlando's.
Trying to think of a good response here.
There's nothing left that's gonna be here soon. Trust me, this is my where I'm from. This was my home.
But what of the people that are here now?
They've chosen their own fate, Orlandis. They've chosen to stay when they know that there's death upon their door.
You can only help those who can help themselves.
Yeah, exactly. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. We could drag these guys back, but they'll just come right back.
So Orlandis just looks defeated as all fuck. And then he sort of just slumps into himself and I have no words.
It
We
will
shall
be
go.
pain. She says it will be painless. They will not suffer. They will not become slaves of the Fomorians. If you still wish to fight, you may. I cannot stop you. But I can guarantee that you will do nothing more than whet their appetite for human blood. And when they find a way to cross the veil, the town you come from, and I presume protect, it will meet a similar fate.
A soldier cannot fight upon a mound of corpses. And then he just starts walking away to the portal.
Don't greet your stuff.
Yeah. Heads back to the
That's true.
thing, gathers up his shit, and leaves.
Loses another spear.
Shit, my stuff!
Why did you throw my spear in the flowing bathtub? Just sails down the river. Ah!
My spear!
Orlandis' lost spear. It's gonna be a magic item that shows up in another party's like game, and they're just gonna be
Fucking
like,
really.
And then they roll a miss, and it just disappears, just vanishes. It goes like through a portal and just whoa.
This is the magic spear of disappearing. Once you throw it, it's gone.
Sounds like the ultimate weapon to me. You get it stuck in a god, and the god disappears with it.
Well, I didn't say it takes things with it. It just goes.
Yeah, just the spear goes. That's it.
Just here goes.
Damn, that's fucking depressing.
Just to be clear, Tom, I was not booing you. I was laughing with you and agreeing.
So I guess we go to Carden.
Okay, so if you're heading back the pathway that we described for Vravik in reverse,
Mhm.
All the way to the south.
yeah, I would like for Elizabeth to just roll me.
Why me?
Sorry, just roll me a charisma check.
Charisma.
This is for flavor and flavor alone.
19.
When she was speaking and using the common word stranger, for some reason, the way she was saying it was very specific. Like she intended for that word not to serve as her describing herself simply as a definitive noun.
Mm-hmm.
It was more to declare herself as a, like, particular noun. Like a, this is a title or this is a name.
Mm-hmm. So she describes herself as a ranger.
Stranger.
Stranger. I was like, why?
A Saint Ranger.
Tree! It's the Green Ranger's power. So the tree.
Let's go.
I have ran a game of
Wait.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, by the way. I just want to make sure that's
Patreon
clear
game.
for the Patreons. Yeah, we do some wild shit. You head back to Carden.
Ooh.
No
Yeah, we'll
questions?
Head back to Carden.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nope.
So, moving to the map. Again, the portal exits out south of Cardend. From the position that you appear in, you are on a raised hill in the forest. And from this position, it is very interesting that you can see both Fort Cleaver and Fort Carver. You can also see the mountain beyond very, very clearly. And from what you can see, you see that there are four exact things that are kind of like what's going on. Firstly, the most prevalent is that big whale of a ship that you saw come down and just like laser nuke one of the conglomerate ships is there, floating high above the castle up on the mountain. And so for descriptive text on this Fox, and it's like a city. No, it's more like a town-sized skyship. It's like a very big airship. You would see that there's that ship, and there's also a small fleet. This is the second thing. Make sure I keep it locked in my head. The second thing is a small fleet of 6 conglomerate ships. They appear to be made out of stone. Like a very strange looking armored rock shape. The third thing that you see amidst all of this is that there appears to be in the sky above a glowing red light. It's strangely in the sky high enough to like appear as if it's like at the same kind of elevation as like a star would be. But at the same time there's like this strange kind of positioning that makes it feel like it's closer than the stars. Like it's not celestial, but it's high up enough that it's like it feels that way.
Does Elizabeth know what this is?
The red dot?
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
Is it the Grey Order?
No.
No. Okay.
That's not a dot.
No.
That's just a straight rocket. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
They come down in a meteor.
Yeah, they throw a
Sweet.
guy in red armor as fast as they can from Tavernet.
Yeah, they
All right,
fastball
fight it.
special him like halfway
I
into
was
the
just like,
earth, and
red
then
dot.
Yiddy!
Just go get him.
And then they climb out of the hole and they're like, "Hey, what the fuck is going on down here?"
He's so confused. He has no idea what we're talking about. Okay, so
Do your fucking job.
there is this superhero order, effectively, called the Grey Order. They're not superheroes. They're people who are trying to maintain the balance between divinity and mortality.
They're kind of superheroes.
Back in the Third Age, a concordant was sealed between gods and man, or humanity, or mortality. That basically says gods can't directly interject in like living people's bullshit. So when a cleric prays for like miracles, they're not getting it directly from a god. They're getting it from a source called the White Winds that feed off of faith. And so the Grey Order are basically a superhero group. They're not superheroes. I keep saying they're superheroes, but they're basically a superhero group
They're
that stops
superheroes.
gods from.
None of your bullshit.
Right, exactly. So what usually happens is like if a god manifests or something divine is manifesting, the first thing they do is they throw one of their guys at them. The guy's name is Shade Thathos, and he can't die. He wears like this psychic crystal armor and wields this massive great axe. And so they just throw him down there, and if he can't handle it and they see that he's not able to handle it, they start mustering. Like they start gathering in group. And since he can't die, like he can escape. They have escape bands that they can pull and send him back to town. Anyway, focusing back on sorry.
Meteor Man.
Medium man. Indeed. The last thing that
Like the ultimate Inquisition right there. It's like,
they're
hey, holy shit!
but they're like anti-Inquisition. They don't want like religion to be worshipped. Like they're like super atheist party. Anyway, the last thing you see is what appears to be a distance off, but kind of visible past the mountain, a floating rock the size of a mountain that appears to have a town on it with a bunch of like balloons holding it up and a
Flap,
massive
flap.
burning fire at the bottom of it. Which, again, if you are a local Astrogoth, you are relatively local. And Lose, you are definitely a local enough to understand. That is the town of Flap Flap, which is a goblin town that moves from place to place. Okay, so that's what you see besides. And you can make your way back into town at that point.
And yeah, there's nothing we can do about that shit.
Also, I want to issue a correction. I may have said southwestern earlier when I was
You did.
referring to the town where the the ship is located.
Yes.
Southeast. It is here.
Southeast.
So sorry.
No, that's west.
That's west.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I was right?
East. Yeah.
Yeah.
This would be west.
Cool, I was right.
This is east.
This is west. Don't confuse
Unless
us
it's
like
flipped
that.
in your world, then like
No, it's not.
all things messed up.
Weast?
East.
West.
Unprompted, he knew it. We love that. Okay, so are we going back into Carvent, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when you arrive back in Carden, you head for Midtown. You would be passing before you get here, either through Marshtown or past the hole that was Enbarrow.
Okay.
Remembering, Bravik, the hole that used to be Enbarrow is where they told you the Lycoi body was dropped.
I guess we could take a detour through Edinburgh. Show him the body. Visit Papa McFartbutt's grave.
Who is this Papa McFartbutt?
So McFartbutt is Lysander. McFartbutt the second and the third were his sons.
Who they also
One of which that was fucked up by Lose, and the other of which
Didn't I
was
kill both of them?
you did.
Yeah.
But the second one was, or the McFartbutt the third was a group effort because he was the
Yeah.
booty hole. And then Papa McFartbutt is Grandpappy that was locked away before all of this. He's
So
Grandpappy
you-
McFartbutt,
Haven't released yet.
which we have not. We left him in his grave. where he deserves to be.
You've got their government names. We're talking about their street names.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about the McFart butt lineage for now.
He's writing it all down on this piece of paper.
This lore goes
I highly
deep. This
recommend-
lore goes-
alias fart butt.
No, it's Mick Fart Butt.
You're turning in the contract. I killed Lysand.
Lysander LaCoy, aka Evil McFartbutt. Evil.
It's okay. We've had plenty of names when people didn't know the name of the creature or the individual, and it was just thrown out as shenanigans.
We never did. We never found it out. We never looked.
Bravik, if you wish to explore the hole, what I'll say is it's not hard for you to find what you're looking for.
I'm going down.
It's not hard for you to find what you're looking for. You find the desiccated corpse of the Tabaxi vampire pretty quickly. And
Can I
here's
just
to
leave him
why.
there?
About 300 feet down in the hole, which is basically a sinkhole the size of like a small town. I'd say about 400, no, it's more like 400 feet around, straight down. At the bottom of it, at its center, is a manor house that looks like it's been broken open like an egg from the movie Alien. Like, it's been broken in four and split open, like, divide. It's almost like one of those, like, chocolate oranges. It's been kind of just shattered in the middle and opened up. In the center of that thing, you see the broken floor of what appears to be a lower, like, section of this manor house. The desiccated corpse of said Tabaxi vampire, right on the cusp of falling into a massive well-like structure that just burrows down into the earth. And that hole that I mentioned, that well section, glows with this very just frighteningly weird red light.
Oh, fun.
Like
It
that.
And it almost pulses like there's like a life to the light itself.
Can I investigate?
So when you get down there, near the hole, there's the vampire corpse. You see that he is wearing a signet ring, still. It's actually loosely kind of on his finger because it looks like the finger was kind of just sucked dry. Like everything about the vampire was kind of out of him.
We got the soul sucked out of him.
He sure did. He also has a rondel dagger, which is typically a moniker for nobility of Osirian houses, which is another province far to the east. But you also know that that's some Jernaran subsects wear a rondel as well. So that's obviously a notation. It looks like it has the Lekoi moniker on it. And his body is desiccated enough, like if you worked at it, you could probably break off any piece that you wanted of him and take it with you. It's very much the best way to describe it.
How many jerky rations could we get out of him?
It wouldn't be jerky because jerky doesn't have that crispiness to it. Like if you
Okay,
hit it
okay.
against something, it shatters into flakes. Like that's the kind of level of desiccated we're talking about here.
So bacon.
Yeah,
It's
so like
closer to bacon.
overcooked, burnt bacon.
Yeah, I'm thinking more like the same consistency as like a Cheeto.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, like you
okay.
hit it,
I
it's
can see
gonna
that.
kind of snap apart. It's a little
How
harder
many
than
vampire Cheetos could we get out of him?
Why do you want vampire
that, but you
Cheetos?
never know when you're gonna need a vampire Cheeto.
The snack that bites back.
I'm gonna go ahead and type that in the
Okay.
lower section. Hold on. And gain inspiration if you don't have it. Vampire Cheetos.
Hell yeah.
The snack
Shouldn't it go in playtesting discussion?
that bites back. And then just the word discuss. Okay. Perfect. That and Tuba of Wishing. Very good. But yeah, you look into the hole, and it looks like it goes down for a long, long while, far past your limitations. But there's like a glow of red light It's not bright. It's not vibrant. It's just kind of this dense red pulsing light that seems to kind of line the walls. And it doesn't seem to have a source. Like, there isn't a thing on the walls that's glowing. It's just that there's this red kind of glow throughout the pipe.
To throw a rock down the hole.
Okay. So what you'll notice is after it enters into the space and moves about 10 or 15 feet, you watch as it starts to discorporate the rock. And you very quickly lose sight of it as it turns into nothing more than ash. In your view. Like, within the 60 feet you can see down.
That's not good. So I'm down here by myself, right? I
You are
climb
down here. You're the only one who could do it. Yeah, you
So
might have
obviously,
climbed
so first of all, I'm gonna cut his finger off and his head off. I'm gonna put it and I'm gonna wrap it up in his claw. I'm gonna take it with him.
up. You got the
And I'm
ring.
gonna yeah, with the ring and the dagger.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
I'm gonna climb. I'm gonna skitter my way back up this 400-foot hole and be like, "Hey,
While he's doing that, Orlandis is gonna look at Cassia and is gonna ask, Cassia, what do you feel when you look at that light?
You can't see it from up there.
Oh, we can't. Sorry,
Yeah.
never mind. Forget it.
Yeah, it's still daytime outside.
Gotcha.
And even at night, you're pretty sure you wouldn't be able to see it due to the way that it's kind of structured. But
Gotcha.
when Vravik explains the situation, Castia specifically, since she was right there when this happened, that hole is basically right where the tree would have been.
Nice.
So like a breaking dimension.
Not
Maybe.
too far off.
Maybe.
It fucked up that rock.
Does it align with the red hole in the or light in the sky?
Mhm. They don't seem to be related. Again, it's a very different color of red light. I understand that red is being kind of, I guess, overused in this.
Bad. Red is bad.
Red is bad. Red is bad. Look,
Hey, my
everybody
hair's
turns and looks at
red.
Lose's hair. What the fuck?
My cloak is red. You saying something?
Talindra doesn't have red hair, right?
No, she
I-
does.
Said,
Oh.
yeah, she does. The
It's
art
just
doesn't.
darker.
Yeah, but the art was basically a placeholder anyways.
I got
Yeah.
you. Got you.
I can't draw everything. But I do have to draw
It's
everything
okay.
before the end of next week.
It's okay.
All the things.
All of the thing.
I'm so close to finishing Zijo's character for that.
Oh, I can't wait to see.
So does Ravik come up?
Yeah, he
Okay.
said that that's the case.
Yeah.
And then,
I think
You-
that's where the tree was. That's where the Castiel.
So will you be rewarded the bounty now that you have what you have?
Can we have it since we did the job for you?
Yeah.
You can take a piece of it, of course. Your share.
Obviously, it looks like y'all had a fun adventure.
I don't know if fun is the word that I would
There was
use.
no
but-
mention of vampires and giant trees.
How much was this value?
Wait,
No.
do you have one of those slips of paper for a dragon? Because I think I can. I killed one of those. I mean,
She did.
we're-
We saw it.
I mean everybody saw it.
We could get. No, we can't. Did we put it down the little whirlpool thing?
It went down the whirlpool.
Yeah. There's no proof.
Like it went down, I think, in the water, and then Glint
we got a
was the
clue,
one
though.
that found it. We still need to know what that big ass fish hand was in the sewers. Still need to find out what the fuck that was.
Ah.
Hell, we still need to see what Baba Yaga is doing in that fucking graveyard.
no one ever said
No.
anything about a Baba
It's a
Yaga.
chocobo.
It's Baba Yaga. You said chicken feet marks. Big old chicken feet marks.
There's a lot of things in life that have chicken feet, Jonah.
It's a Baba
One
Yaga.
of which are giant chickens. Second of which are chocobos.
You saw my chocobo.
Trademarking.
You can't use chocobo. Guys, come on.
Chocobo.
Have you seen my rooster?
The
I used to
legally
ride
distinct
baby.
Chocobra.
a Chocobra.
Chocobra.
Chuck Chuck.
It's a chicken boo.
So
Chicken boom.
since when we go back to the town of Carden, Orlandis wants to lead everyone to that path to go through Pappy McFartbutt's grave to see if it's still closed.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, it's still sealed.
Okay, good.
Good now.
Just checking in on him.
Do we hear anything? Like while we pass it? Oh no, it's
Yeah, you know what he you know what he does during the day? He gets up and he just like scratches around like a wild animal, or he just like turns on the old record player and he's just like jamming out.
you
Like,
never know.
you hear
you
him
never
listening
know.
to
I hear that Frank Sinatra song.
no, he would definitely be listening to
Let me out.
um
Wake me up.
wow, that's what I
Yeah,
call
so-
music 93. That's what he would
Jesus Christ.
okay, Google that
At
actually.
least it's not Kids Bop.
It could be the Kid Bob version. You don't know.
3.
It's got to be rated E for everyone.
Light It Up, Roses, 7 Years, I'm in Control, Me, Myself, and I don't know any of these songs.
Jesus.
I think you're just making shit up, John.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
not.
those are real songs.
Hello,
I've
Todd.
listened to 2 of them.
I don't know any of these. Oh, David Bowie. There we go. There.
Hey.
Justin Bieber, I guess. I know that one. Twice? How do you get on? Wow, that's what I call music twice. Oh,
Is
You
It's
do
not
something
good.
bad in a past life?
Coldplay. My favorite. Not serious. Okay, so anyway.
I love this combo.
Then what
Yeah.
happens?
We check it, it's good, it's locked, we're Gucci. Then we keep going.
It's locked. Still sealed with the magical seals that it was sealed with. Nothing
Good.
changed.
Good.
He chillin'.
Good.
Then you go back to Bluffhills.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But we pass, oh shit.
You said that very like nervously, or made me feel very nervous.
We pass by this way, right?
Bluffhill's the first house from
Yeah.
them.
Oh, okay, so we don't. Damn, never mind.
So you enter into Ravik to kind of keep you up to date. It's a farmhouse. Nice farm, mostly like fields, not so much in the way of cattle or like livestock or what have you, but kind of near the main house of the campus, the farm campus. You would note that there is a large ruins, and the ruins appears to be elvish, which again, elvish architecture outside of the Feywild is not something you really have seen ever. And it looks like there is a statue inside this ruins. It looks like a ruined temple of a woman carrying like a harvester's sickle and grain. Are you trained in religion?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think that'd be a priority. But
Not in this line of work.
I got.
Say a prayer right before I slit your throat. Shh.
I gotta get the cheese. I'm too busy
The
getting the
cheese.
Y'all are over here talking about money. I'm over here going, look, I killed a guy 2002.
Praise the cheese!
Praise
I love
the
Brent's
cheese moon.
thoroughness. He
Look,
said-
there's even a cheese moon behind me. It's melting in the sun.
Is that right, Tom?
Hmm?
Is the moon made out of cheese?
Sure.
Why not?
Cheese and moonbeams.
Hell yeah. So, when you get to Bluffhills, if you stop in, she'll basically give you, solace if you wish to, like, rest there or what have you. The kids are at work. She only stops in because she saw you approaching, but she's going to get right back to the fields once she's done kind of settling you back in or what have you. But yeah, if there's anything that you want to do in Midtown, you're certainly welcome to it. And yeah, it's been the better part of the day, remembering that the boat ride is not a short duration, so you're kind of closer to the mid-afternoon than the morning.
There's a blacksmith here, right?
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, no, never mind. Crystal would be glass blowers, right?
I mean, I have smith tools.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's right.
As long as
Yeah.
I can.
Crystal wouldn't be metalwork, though.
It would be.
That's
What would it be? Glass blowers?
Oh.
Hmm.
Wait,
Do we know? And
Or
well,
jam,
okay.
jam cutters.
Yeah. So,
wrong character.
remember the crystal side or the glass sides that we got?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I want to see if we can make something with those.
Well, not right now.
Yeah, we'll worry about that another day. But
So I just want to
For-
make sure I'm stressing here. Like, I want to know what your goal in town is, if there is one, and then what your plan of attack after that will be. Again, we have a couple of different directions, so if you want to just address those in character, like out on, so we can get them out on the table, we can kind of pointedly work in one or those directions.
Orlandus wants to save his girlfriend's tongue. Well, mostly he wants
His
to.
girlfriend's town doesn't want to be saved, so.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Sounds fun.
Some fights just aren't worth taking, my friend.
I'll find you another girl.
There's the boat. There's the trader.
The Whitecaps.
That is true. We do need to speak to the Whitecaps still. But there is, again, the boat. We could either sell it or I could visit
Sail it.
home.
Sail it or sail it.
What do you all wish to do? I kind of want to go. I want to go home. I want to see my family.
That must be nice.
It is.
I agree. Having a family must be.
I saw mine.
It's another character with a mother who's actually alive.
And a father?
Blasphemy!
Oh no, your dad's dead.
So is his uncle.
Surprise!
My dad's alive. Your dad's dead.
Your mom's dead though, so.
But my mom's dead. But
Okay.
your mom's alive.
They're alive though.
Papa, no!
For
Tom's
now.
character is his own grandpa. I am my own grandpa.
As far as we know.
Yeah, it could be.
Actually, no, we don't know.
Weird
Yeah.
AF.
Basil
Timey-wimey.
Cassia's mom.
What's that, Foxton?
Said timey-wimey bullshit. You don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. And then
How far is the travel to where the boat is at?
So
I know you picked it on the map, but how many days?
absolutely. So each hex is about 7 or so miles. On overland travel, the rules are pretty simple. If you're moving across terrain that you are not familiar with, then it's 4 hexes per day. If it is terrain that you are not familiar with, and it's harsh terrain, forests, hills, mountains, 3 hexes per day. But since you're mainly going to be moving through plains, it'll be 4. So if you're moving out from like Fort Cleaver, the south side of the town, effectively, you can go 1, 2. Let me see if I can do it with a. Who do you want to be the team mascot? Oh, too bad. You didn't get to choose. I already pulled one. It was the first one that I saw. Drop it? Okay, why not though? I want it. There he is.
Why?
But I won't.
Alright,
Rat.
your new mascot is Fox's character.
A
I
Okay.
was actually going to
And then
suggest
I'm
it.
going to move us to the map. And I'm going to snap ping us to the location.
On the map.
Zoom
On
that
the
bad
map.
boy in.
Boom.
On the map.
Okay. So if you were to do this, 1, 2, 3, 4, you could rest outside of the town and then enter it
Nice.
in the morning.
Oh,
Is that what you want to do?
we do that.
Okay.
Probably a good idea.
And you're going to rest here first and then leave in the morning, first thing. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. In the morning, when you awake, gathering up all your stuff and prepare, you'll note that Flap Flap has gotten closer to Mount Balthanir. Like it's now more visible. You'll note
Oh.
that the ships, the fleet, the 6 ships, and the large ship are no longer visible. At some point during the night, they went somewhere else. And they're nowhere on the skyline. And the red dot in the sky still sits there directly above Balthanir, glowing brightly. What it is, you cannot be certain. Okay. If none of that hinders you from doing what you had just said you were going to do, then we'll go ahead and start with some random encounter rolls. I need one representative, your choice, to go ahead and roll me a d20.
Just one.
One person. We're going to do it step by step.
17.
Great. Well, that's terrible.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, so as you're moving into the plains and heading out that way, bear with me. Okay, good. And then it would be
We see red caps.
no, it's that would be funny though, that I do like that. You are traveling. Obviously
Well, now I care a lot about our experience.
obviously we don't have much in the way of horses or other means of kind of moving cross country quickly. So you're traveling on foot, moving across the plains, kind of keeping to more cultivated environments. But as you have noted, a lot of the farmlands on the southern side of Cardend are not populated. They had been kind of deserted when the Denisovans took over, as the people who were running them had nowhere to trade, and the Denisovans didn't concern themselves with agriculture. But you would see that there is... I'm trying to get the map to come up, and it's just not happening. Bear with me here.
It okay. We don't have to fight.
Yes, you do.
But what if we did?
You roll for it. You have no choice. It's
Oh wait, so we took a long rest, right?
yes.
Yes.
So go ahead and get all that good stuff back.
Also, do my retainers stay, or do they
Yes.
come with me?
Unless you send them away.
Hmm.
If you want them to come with you, that's fine. We can definitely hash it out. But yeah, they are with you now,
Okay.
or they
Okay.
remain back in the town if you're planning on going back.
I want them with me just in case that shit.
That makes sense. So a lot of folks here haven't met the retainers, so we're going to go ahead and quickly address them because they have been kind of kept back. There's been a lot of adventuring happening with the Orlandis stuff. So we'll discuss them real quick. So we have Godspeed. You've got the names, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking for...
It's Boltuff Stone, Danica Wolf, and Arnold Blocklifter.
Correct. And I thought I had...
Arnold
handouts.
Blocklifter.
Yep. I thought I
He's a
had...
Blocklifter.
I thought I had handouts for that. I do not. So I'll have to correct that before next Friday.
It's
Anyway,
okay.
as you're traveling, a large group as you are, you would note that there is a bit of a road that allows you to kind of move a little quickly. Not as quickly as like a full-on road would allow for, but definitely more quickly than um, just traveling normal. What you note is it runs alongside the outside of the forest as you're passing by it. Um, and from what you can see along this pathway, is that it looks like it was a old caravan path, and it looks like just near the forest line, there is a wagon that has been broken. It looks like it is tipped. One of the wheels is off. It looks like there are a number of supplies that are kind of out and about around the space. But it certainly looks like the wagon isn't. It hasn't been there for very long, just based on looks. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so bear with me while I try and move us to this map here.
Bearing.
Might be invisible at first, so I'll fix that by turning off dynamic lighting because that's not needed. Man, that is zoomed in close, isn't it? That's better. And then I think you can drag and drop your own tokens, but if not, I've got some of you coming out. You're on the north
Are we
side.
coming from the north?
No,
Yep, north to south.
Sorry. North to south.
This is a wide ass road.
It is, but yeah, it definitely has a feel like it is abandoned. So, like, it doesn't have a good level to it, and it's kind of like dipped in a little bit. It looks like erosion and just time has caused the edges to kind of fill out, and the grass around it to kind of like bolster. There's kind of like a bevel in the middle that's not conducive to wagon travel. You can see the old tracks like kind of running along it,
Yeah.
but there's like a pile up in the middle as well. So it's
Gotcha.
fine for walking, but it's
Yeah.
not the greatest for like wagon travel.
Just hadn't been used in forever.
That's right.
Neglected and forgotten.
Who am I missing?
Me, which doesn't help my identity crisis at all.
No worries. And
Ah, I don't exist! Oh, phew! Okay.
Not again.
Well, yeah, it's either I don't exist or there's two of me. There's...
Yeah.
and someone roll me a D100, please.
Not me.
Let's let the new guy do it.
Oh yeah,
You
do
got
it.
it.
Box
D100.
it. Box it.
Cool.
Okay, okay.
All right.
We are yet to see whether that's a good roll or a bad one.
I think the only person I've got here that has a high enough passive perception for this role would be Castia.
Yeah.
Not me.
Definitely not me.
Does anybody have 15 or higher?
No.
Nope.
Mine's 13.
Yes, so
me.
just Cassia. Go ahead and roll a
Same.
perception check. You're the one who's being warranted it for the perception 9.
Oh no.
Okay.
Just distracted. Look at this cool rock I found.
Do you want my inspiration for that roll?
I don't think an 11's gonna work either. I don't think it's worth it.
Oh, right. I keep forgetting that it uses the other number.
Yeah.
I appreciate the offer. I figure it'll only kill 3 of us.
Okay. So, again, the broken wagon is concerning. And again, it looks like it's relatively newer. But yeah, definitely has a very strange. Actually, it's a little off. Should be closer to the road. Sorry about that.
Wow.
Oh god, it's alive!
Yeah, it's fucking moving.
Kill it
now.
with fire.
It's a mimic!
but there's no detectable people that we can see.
Right. So
No.
far as you can see, there doesn't appear to be any signs of life other than a broken wagon.
Would it be too much to say Orlandis' shield is up?
You can pull your shield out. You can draw your weapons. You can do as you like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Shield up, hood off.
Probably playing a ditty about Jack and Diane.
Deedly doodly doodly doodle doodle. Deedadoo.
Those aren't his notes.
What is a chili dog?
Can somebody roll me a d6?
New guy! Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there. New
Potentially
guy.
good.
Or horrible. Depends.
Okay.
That's why I said potentially.
As long as it doesn't lead to me being hit, it's perfect.
It could be another dragon, and then you could have 2 dragons.
Ooh, true.
Since somebody doesn't believe me.
So from like a pass, kind of moving that direction cautiously, you can see that the wagon looks like the wheel was actually removed. It wasn't blown off. It didn't like come off wildly. Looks like someone has leaned the wagon over and removed it. The box that's kind of saddled next to it looks like it's been carefully placed. There does look like there's one box that was inside of the wagon that has fallen open, and from what you can tell, it's filled with a bunch of black sacks, and kind of coming out of those black sacks are what appear to be small little gold nuggets from this distance. And your passive or your perception rolls.
Money.
Spooky.
Sorry, did you say you need more perception rolls?
No. You sucked at perception rolls. That's what I
That's
said.
true. Yeah.
So, would Orlandis know enough about, I guess, tactics or ambush tactics to realize this could be an ambush?
You can imagine all you like. Vravik, what you notice is there's a certain kind of sweet smell to the air. It has a very starchy kind of scent that's present here. And then there's another scent that seems to kind of come up to you, and I'd like you to go ahead and make a perception check based on that.
Yeah.
Oh, because he has this little sniffer.
The little snoofles.
He's a smelly boy. Well, he smells. He's not.
Nah, he also
not this guy.
stinky.
He's not this guy. He's not.
Stinky.
He's not a smelly man. He's not a smelly guy.
He sniff.
We'll give that perception roll though. Did it roll?
For me?
I'm not
Sorry,
certain.
I came in the room. Perception.
Oh no.
We are rolling great tonight, folks.
I'm fucking great.
There's a something else.
Your Ratman senses are not tingling.
They are not tingling at all.
There's something else. There's like another smell, but you can't place it. But there's definitely a sweet kind of starchy smell. That seems to be coming from the wagon.
The smells that I'm smelling ain't smelling right.
I
Like
believe
a
the kids say
potato
something's
smell?
wrong. I can feel it.
Follow my sniffer into this rock.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm going.
One last bit, and since you're looking directly at that rock, and Astrogoth, just because you kind of have a background that I would say kind of fits with this, go ahead, the two of you that I just mentioned, make a perception check. Yours is with disadvantage, Voxen, but you're making a second perception check. You specifically cited something.
Is
Wow.
the rock a mimic?
Ooh.
That rock isn't real. That rock appears to be made out of, like, cloth, and looks like it's been painted to look like a rock. And as you step up close to it, the rock opens up, and a man jumps out, just yelling at you. Ah! And then other rocks around the area do likewise.
Fraggle fraggle!
Fraggle Rock?
He says Fraggle Rock is what he said. So,
Oh shit!
Initiative?
Since you did not succeed on your save during the first round, you will be surprised.
No.
Everybody go ahead and select your token and roll your initiative.
Hold up, y'all.
I'm taking Orlandis' initiative.
Okay. So several things
could have,
happened.
but she already rolled it, so.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think I'm
Oh,
close
but
enough
I
to do
want
that.
it.
Should have took mine.
Damn.
Okay.
Am I close enough
No.
to take his, or do I need to?
No, you're not.
I would assume based on positioning, like the way the map has been drawn out here, no.
Right there.
In the future, if you don't want to move your token around, but you do want to remain close to Orlandis, just say, I'm sticking with Orlandis, and then I'm going to have to move you close to him at the start of the fight.
So several things happened.
And if you want that to be like we'll just say now, if you want that to be the position moving forward, we can do that. Is that what you want?
No, I figure well, maybe, but I figured in this case it would make more sense that I was kind of, if I was playing a Diddy, I was kind of just like hanging back and watching them check out things and being like, huh.
I agree. Yeah, the positioning's fine for me for the fight. But yeah, moving forward, if you want it to be like a static, just say so. I'm okay with that. Let's go with fight music. This one.
Oh,
Orlando should
like
be
that.
first. Castia would be inside of your aura, so she would be given designation. The Berserkers are treating you as surprise, which means you cannot perform things that would take precedent if you're active, which means you can't do Battlefront Shift, I don't believe, and you can't do
analyze?
Analyze, right? Because they weren't available to you to analyze to start. So,
Damn.
the
Okay.
fight will progress from there then. Orlando, surprise, you are no longer surprised. Cassia, surprise, you are no longer surprised. Ravik, surprise, you are no longer surprised. Lose, surprise, you are no longer surprised. Ashergoth, oh, it's still hiding in the thing. That's fun. That's fun. I gotta... There we go. There we go. Cool. And then... Please,
The fuck was that?
don't worry about anything that you're able to see right now. If you're able to see things.
Whoa. Oh my God.
Okay. Great. So, Astrogoth surprised, you are no longer surprised. So during this part of it, you are not surprised because you've had a turn to pass and you have caught on to what's going on. So you can take reactions, you can perform tasks. They're still going to be going first in this, despite having the lowest initiative. But yeah, these guys will move up towards Lose, and when they do so, you would notice that they are covered in kind of bones. They are wearing like the skull of a fox, like helmet on their head, and then they have bone shoulder blades that are kind of being worn like a collar around
Fox
their neck.
skulls, you monsters.
Right? They are wielding axes, all of them. And the axes look like they have very kind of specific carvings on them, which, Lose, being kind of worldly and traveled, you would know that these are Highlanders. Basically, they are individuals who kind of stay in the hills and the mountains and will sometimes go down and raid like people on the roads and the like. And that's presumably what they're doing here with their weird disguise yourself as rocks trick. Okay, so those two move towards you. This guy is going to dash to get to Orlandis. This guy is going to move towards Orlandis and be able to attack. This guy is going to do so as well. And this guy, he already said what he was going to do. He's going to fight the rat folk. Okay, so the Berserkers will attack recklessly. Which means
Fuck yeah,
have
they will.
advantage on their attack rolls. Despite not having surprise, they would have done it anyway, because that's who they are.
Gotta.
A
Just
20
gotta.
to hit the rat folk would hit for 12 slashing damage. The two that get to attack Orlandis, a 12 will miss and an 18 will miss. Bouncing off of your armor without issue, and you're able to get your shield up after the kind of first initial, what the fuck, a fight happened now? And then the two against Lose, wow, a 13 will miss, and an 18 will hit. Cool.
Yep.
For 9 slashing damage. As they rush out and start swinging and hitting, The leader who runs out towards Orlando says, "If you want to surrender, we'll spare your lives and we will eat your flesh off your bones."
Jesus.
That's rude.
Okay. So the leader is this guy.
Yeah, the one that is not the same token, correct?
Okay. Fair.
All right,
Oh,
so
I'm gonna
he
fight
is
him so bad.
done. And that is an option, by the way.
It is an option.
Orlandis, you are up next. Obviously, he has offered a surrender clause, but you are not. You don't have to if you don't want.
True. Very true. You know what? After the string of defeats that Orlandis has faced in just the last day, he's gonna fuck him up.
I need a feel
He's
good win.
gonna fuck him up. Yeah. So he's gonna just
need a
pull
win.
out. He's gonna pull out his his short sword, and he's just gonna go stab him in the face, or attempt to at
Alright.
least.
Uh,
17.
So you have advantage on your attack against him. He did not reckless.
No, he didn't reckless.
Doesn't matter. That's still gonna hit.
All right, cool,
He is not wearing armor.
good.
Damage me up.
That's 5 damage, and then he's gonna turn around and then just shove this one to the ground if
Okay.
he can.
Yeah, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Oh, so strong.
Yeah, nope.
Rolled a 2 and a 1, dude.
Yep.
So you kind of like,
Yep.
kind of have the shield, you
Plus
stab,
6.
and then you spin around and try and like shield bash him back. And as the shield kind of bounces off of his chest, he's just like, ha ha. All right.
So
Orlandis.
yeah,
Oh
fucking.
wow. That almost.
Mm.
Okay.
What happened?
That almost knocked the void over.
Jesus.
Orlandis done. Cassia.
Too powerful. I'm gonna cast Spirit Guardians.
Okay.
Ooh.
I don't know that we have a template for it yet.
It's not a template. You go into your token at a aura, and then you can change the aura to six.
Oh, we can do that?
Yeah, you should be able to toggle it on and off. Yep.
And then I'm just gonna shift
No,
over.
we can't change it to scene. I think only you can.
Oh,
No, you can do the aura. It's
Do you
the
see an
little
aura around
gear.
me right now?
yeah. There's 3
Yeah.
little dots to the right of the aura. Do you see that, Jonah?
I'm looking. No.
There are not 3 little like ups, like dots. Okay,
No, I only see the color, the shape, and the radius.
weird. All right, well, cool. It's up. I'll make sure it's on C for folks. But yeah, you have the Spirit Guardians, and as described, it's kind of ghostly moonlight, like movements, kind of dancing around Castia at this point.
And that's it. Oh.
And a quick note for Bravik, because this is important for someone who's a bit worldly. Bravik, just make a perception check.
Damn it, not again. Worst
Does he
thing-
get to use his nose?
13's good. So what you'll notice is that Cassia doesn't seem to be brandishing a holy symbol. She just casts the spell.
Suspicious.
Bravik, you
Note-
are...
Notes to self to ask about that later. My turn?
Yeah.
Select. Alright. I'm gonna move. So I'm gonna use Nimble. So I'm gonna give up 15 movement speed to slip away. So he needs to make a intelligence check.
This is the guy. Okay.
Yeah,
And he rolled a 4.
Oh yeah, it's a failure. Okay.
He is disoriented, which means he cannot make opportunity attacks until the end of his next turn, or your next
Wow.
turn.
And I still have 25 movement, so I'm gonna move to right there. Right there. Bonus action. Quick hands. To use Shower of Kunai.
Ooh.
Not technically a cantrip for those who are looking at it. It's a ninja tool. So you throw a bunch of knives. and you are targeting.
The 5 that are over here. Decent.
Okay. So it's everybody but the guy in.
The guy I ran from. Everyone else.
Okay. Dex saving throws for them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Of this type. Miss.
Is the okay, no, if there's no creatures, okay.
And the leader. Miss. So
Missed all.
it'll be 1d6 plus your dex mod. So go ahead and roll that. And they are bleeding.
Okay, I do.
Which I'm gonna red dot them for the bleeding condition.
Easy peasy.
One
I
d6.
love this guy already.
10.
What you'll notice is once the daggers are thrown, all of them take the hit and are kind of seemingly the best way to describe it is when the dagger hits, it seems something about the shape of the daggers, which I don't think anybody here would be terribly familiar with kunai, is that they seem to kind of create this gouge that allows space around the blade, but still has the blade settled inside of it. So there's kind of a jutting of blood coming out of them. This seems to enrage this guy to the point where he just stops looking at Orlandis, who just stabbed him, and just turns towards the rat folk, like, kind of drops his head down a little bit, and it's just,
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
nobody makes me bleed my own blood. I think you got the spirit of this character, Tom. I appreciate that. Lose, you're up.
We gonna just. Oh, it changed. Oh no, there it is. We're gonna do our usual on this bottom guy here.
Okay. Hit.
Guessing in 24 hits. 11.
And remember, you have advantage on these attacks.
Okay. Is he still up?
He's very much alive, yes.
Okay.
This fight might go over.
Oh shit.
12.
Uh-huh. Still alive, not bloodied. Well, I mean, bleeding, but not bloodied. And again, for you, Foxen, I don't know if you're familiar with 4th edition terminology, but bloody just means less than half hit points. We typically don't want to, tell people how many hit points we have remaining, because it's just very crunchy and I don't like it. But if you're bloodied, that's fine. The other condition that we talk about, and this one is more common than it should be, it's called chatted. And if you are chatted or you chad someone, it means that you've reduced the thing to 1 hit point remaining. And we call it that because, I don't know if you're familiar with Chad Houston, member of the Discord, but he's notorious for doing this. Like, he has the worst fortune ever, and it doesn't just happen when, there's a screen in place too. It happens also, it's like not being flubbed, it's not a thing. Like, it's also when we roll out in the open in, like, West Marches style games, he still fucks it up and biffs on that. Love the guy. But, Lose, you are done.
So the bleeding is different than bloodied. Okay, gotcha. That's where I was confused.
Yeah, the bleeding condition just means that they're going to take a D4 piercing damage each time they start a turn, unless they remove it as an action.
Gotcha.
Or gain hit points from, magic.
Yeah, but this one's now bloodied.
Yes.
And
Oh,
bleeding.
no. Not bloodied. None of them
Just
are bloodied
bleeding.
yet. Only
I
bleeding.
thought you said that one
I
was.
said the opposite of that, yeah. Lose, done.
Okay.
Asher got that? Unless you have anything else, Elizabeth? Just want to double
Nope.
check? Okay. Zach, you're up. Did he step away? Or is he muted?
No, I'm here.
Oh.
Sorry.
No worries.
Well, I definitely am not a fan of them ganging up on individuals, and given that this is closer, I am going to do the doot at the one that's closer to me.
And can you go ahead and describe that, because we all know what a dude is, but Fox had made
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I guess given the fact that I was playing my loot, it's the type of thing where I start playing a little jingle on the lute and singing along with it, and the combined effort of music and voice and vocals just kind of lashes out with a force similar to a punch, I guess you could say.
Yeah. And I imagine it on like strong notes, like you're kind of coming down, like it's kind of like, you know, at specific pulse beats, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, something like that. I imagine that if you know what it sounds like when you take a microphone to a speaker. I imagine to the person who is being hit by this, it kind of sounds like that.
Love it. So 2 dudes, and who's your target? Is it the one north, or is it the one?
Yeah, it's the one that is closer to me, so the northern one.
Pop. You have advantage on both of these, so those will both hit. Alright. The second dude kind of just skims him, but the first dude kind of nice to the chest. Solid.
I didn't expect him to duck down, clutching his ears.
Yeah. Alright, Astrogoth done. It'll go to the barbarians. Correct. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Con saves. They're really good at these. Okay.
It's a wisdom save.
The wisdom save. They are not good at those. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. And then the boss man. Oh, and while I'm doing this, Tom, can you go ahead and roll me a d6?
5.
Yeah. Okay, so when this guy turns to look at the rat folk, there's a wild look in his eyes. And Cassia, you can actually kind of see that there seems to be like a malignant presence in his facade. Like his face seems to have this strange shift to it that you're very cognizant of. And when the kind of spiritual guardian kind of slams into him to cause damage, you can see that face kind of shift more angrily and focus in on you. But his
The leader, or which
the
one?
leader, yeah. But his
Okay.
physical face, not the face that just shifted, is still focused on that rat folk. And he is going to run right past Cassia and right past Orlandis, provoking opportunity attacks the whole way through, straight towards that rat folk who threw a bunch of knives.
Cassidy doesn't really have a weapon, so I don't think I can make a
No.
unarmed strike that I'm not proficient in. So
Alright, give me damage on that. Alright. So as he's running past, you kind of lance him in the back, and you can see like it go into like his lower back and then pull out. It didn't go very deep, but there's a nice little kind of, you know, drip of blood that kind of follows him as he's running. And then he is going to slam into this guy. This is the first time I've described him weapon-wise. As he's coming at you with this axe, you watch as the axe head falls off of the haft of the weapon and seems to be connected to a chain, which he then spins very quickly at the end of his run and then lances it like kind of like whoosh at you with the flail chain axe. He has advantage, and a 15 probably misses, right?
Misses.
Cool. Then he'll attack 2 more times. One of the 3 attacks will hit your 16 armor class. Take 6 slashing damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw from you. You will fail it. So after the first attack, what you realize is that the blade of the axe seems to kind of spurt a bit as you kind of block it with the dagger and kind of drop down. And that spurt seems to be some kind of weird fluid that seems to be kind of emanating from the core of the axe and kind of bleeding out on pores of the axe's blade. As the second attack swipes you, you kind of look down and kind of understand immediately, based on your profession, that you've just been poisoned. And with that failure, unless you're immune to the poisoned condition, you will be poisoned until the end of Berserker's next turn. And then the third attack comes wailing past you, and you just drop down. It just kind of sails over top you. Then I have 2 attackers on Lose, but one of them is going to move in on Castia. And then the 3rd attack comes wailing past you, and you just drop down. It just kind of sails over top you. Then I have 2 attackers on Lose, but one of them is going to move in on Castia. And then the 4th attack comes wailing past you, and you just drop down. It just kind of sails over top you. Then I have 2 attackers on Lose, but one of them is going to And they're gonna try and get out of this swelling. Orlandis, I need you to make an athletics or acrobatics check, your choice. So this guy here, like swinging his axe at your armor, he very quickly moves his axe to one side and just reaches out with his hand and grabs a hold of the front plating of your armor. He pulls you in close, pushes the haft of his axe against your neck, and then shifts his weight very suddenly, forcing you ass over tea kettle, like straight behind him.
Okay.
Actually, it was this guy, so you're here. So it'll be from
shit.
here to
Right.
there. And then once he does so, he's going to move to here, and he's done. But this guy is going to rush over top of you with like a like a sadistic kind of glee, and then he's going to drop his axe after using the ability Crushing Blow.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
he's got advantage. He is still recklessly attacking because they are dumb.
Yeah.
And 24 hits.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That shit hits.
It'll be a +3 to damage.
Ooh.
So it'll be a total of. It'll be a total of 12. Not much, unfortunately.
Okay.
And then they're done. Then the one who was disoriented will kind of just haphazardly kind of rush out to the closest person. Actually, fuck that. I hate rats.
No.
Hate
The
rat.
the rat attacked me. I'm gonna go for him.
Rat
Rushes
attack.
behind you recklessly. That's definitely going to hit. Do you have any reactions to taking damage or anything, Foxen? As you are a new player in my campaign, I'm going to advise you, if you do have some means of mitigating damage, this would be the attack to do it.
I mean, I didn't use my action before, but I didn't ready an action either.
Oh no, well, okay. Well, I mean to say, like, I know I haven't. It's been a while since I've read Shinobi, but I know that rogues typically have an ability called Uncanny Dodge. I'm just going to check your character sheet real quick. I want to make sure.
Or like evasion or something like that, maybe.
Make sure I'm not missing something here.
I'm flipping through it. Get 2 AC against opportunity attacks.
Nothing. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah.
Oh, Defy Death is a level 20 feature. You don't have that
That's
yet.
level 20.
Okay, looks like you just put everything in.
I just put everything in there so I would have. So I'd have
Smart.
it.
I agree. It's a good way to go, especially for classes that aren't in the roll 20. I'll just organize them so you have all the ones that you have up top and all the ones you don't have down to the bottom. Yeah, it doesn't look like you have anything. I'll have to look into that. But yeah, this is going to be a bit of damage. So it'll be a total of 22 slashing damage.
Damn.
As that guy comes up from behind you and just smashes you in the back with that axe. And then one attack against Castia and one attack against Lose. Castia's AC is higher than I always remember it being, so that'll miss. And Lose has the same exact armor class as Castia, and so that attack will also miss. Despite having advantage, I'm rolling like shit. My berserkers are done. It'll go to Orlandis.
So Orlandis is gonna look off to his side and see that.
Sorry, you are prone.
Yeah. So he's gonna look off to his side, see that Lose and Castia, they're fine, but then look at the new rat folk and just watch him get decked. He's gonna give him inspiring word
Okay.
to give him some temp HP. So you get 10. And then am I grappled or just
No, he literally just force moved you over top of him and then knocked you prone with his action.
oh, okay, so yeah, I'll stand up.
Okay.
Use my movement. And then I'll just stab him. Stab him. Try to at least. 22. And then
Yeah.
7 piercing.
And that's against this one?
Yeah, the one who threw me over his shoulder.
And that's it.
And I'll use the rest of my movement to go right here.
Okay. Cassian.
I will drop spiritual weapon right next to me. I don't know that we have a token
Should
for it.
do. Let me double check.
I don't see it in
I
the
never
spell
make-
templates.
It's time now.
Wow.
It's time now.
Fucking
Okay.
dare you.
Just ping the square that you're putting it. Perfect. And then continue as if it were there.
Let me go ahead and attack that guy with it.
Probably hits. What did you roll?
An 11, so it probably doesn't hit. Or did he attack
20.
recklessly? Because
They're always reckless, yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
so
so
20.
20.
Definitely goes. And then damage.
12.
Right. And then your action.
That was a bonus action, so as an action, let's try and drop a Sacred Flame on him.
Dex save. Fail. Damage. Sorry, I'm
16.
not looking. I'm trying to get the token build. He is
Yeah.
bloodied. Alright. Castia done. Bravik, so you've got the leader on you, and then the guy you were fighting before, who's still disoriented, is disoriented until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
This turn.
I'm gonna try this again. I'm gonna move. Risky. I'm gonna try and get behind him.
Okay. So yeah,
Great.
this guy does not provoke, or yeah. So you get there, no opportunity attacks are made.
What about the boss?
Boss doesn't get an opportunity attack for you moving adjacent to him. You have to
Okay.
move away from him to provoke.
Okay. well, I'm gonna slip under his arm and get behind him. He's gonna turn around, look at me, and I'm gonna throw inflammatory powder at his ass.
Ooh,
Burn his fucking face off.
yes.
Let's see. So the range is 15-foot cone. Okay, so both of them.
Yes.
Failure. So they are both blinded for 1 minute, and at the end of their turn, they can repeat the con save, or repeat it as a con save. Okay, cool. I love that. So blinded that's invisible, and bam. And then he'll no longer be disoriented, because that's gone at the end of your turn, but will instead be blinded. Okay, perfect. Anything else? You can still move. You have plenty of move left.
That's true.
Get further away from them, so when they do become unblinded, you're nowhere near them. And are you you said you threw it, or are you like doing a kind of
Do
deal?
what?
Are you throwing the powder, or are you doing like a
Blow.
Fucking blow it out of his ass? No, I'm
Yeah.
throwing it.
throw?
I'm throwing it. I'm ducking under his arm. He turns to look. I go, ta!
Fiery pocket sand.
Fuck you! Pocket sand!
Love it.
I think that's it. I think I'll just stay here.
Okay, stay there. All right. Cool. It'll go to Los and I'm
Yep.
getting that token. I swear to you. Swear on our friendship.
We're swinging on that one. That was attacking Castian. 21.
Hit.
14.
Okay.
13.
To hit? Yeah. And
Oh.
you have advantage.
9.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my advantage.
So as he's kind of focusing on Cassie, and Cassie kind of like quickly kind of blocks the attack, his axe kind of goes sideways into that heap of dirt. And as he's trying to pull it free, you kind of look him face to face, kind of raise up the weapon and just quickly twice in the chest, and he just kind of falls onto the haft of his axe and then slumps into the sand bleeding.
Fuck it.
Kick some sand on him.
Spinning around facing off against the other asshole, right?
Yep.
Asheroth.
You ready?
I am, unsurprisingly,
Dude,
I'm gonna move here And yeah, I am going to. No, wait, not there. Sorry. And I am going to do the boss man. I think.
Okay. See him, and he's blind, so you have advantage.
Do.
Both will hit.
There you go. That's what I like to see.
Okay, so as he is kind of struggling with the fact that his eyes are kind of covered with this inflammatory powder, you can see him kind of like grasping with his like free hand, like the axe or the weird axe flail off to the side. He's kind of grasping at his eye and kind of like forcing it open, and you can actually see that he's pulling the lid apart, like the bottom lid apart, and he's kind of like "Ugh," and staring at you. In Cassia's vision, as that's happening from the side, it's almost like that weird face that's kind of there that was looking at you kind of shifts back in that direction and then starts to extend off of his face towards Astrogoth. Very strange.
Gross. Do not want.
Fuck.
So it goes to them, right? Astrogoth, that's it.
Yeah, after that move and attack, I would be done.
I need someone to roll me a d6.
Not me.
Okay, the first one's fine. So the guy who just did that with his face starts chanting, just kind of saying strange phrases. And the phrases in specific are, "Hello, Nusra, you are my god. Give me the power I need to kill these fiends." And he's just kind of like chanting and does nothing else. That's his turn.
Clearly, he's in a death metal band with a
Yeah.
voice like that.
I know.
Did you remember to apply the bleed damage?
I did not, because you did not roll a d4 for me. Please do so. Roll it 5 times because I have, or no, 4 times because I have 4 bleeders. So just roll 4d4. There we go. So since he's the first one, he'll take the 1, and he'll take the 3, and he'll take the 4, and he'll take the 2. All right. And then the other blinded guy is going to just be blind. He's got nothing better to do.
Before they do more stuff, they need to make that wisdom save for the spirit guardians.
1, 2 of them. Yep. Oh, and just for added flair, the guy who had the kunai stuck in him and is dying on the ground, the blood is just like shooting out, like all over
Ninja
the
scroll.
place. And then the spirit guardians are like tearing his flesh off, like
Nice.
failure
Good for him.
Metal as fuck.
and success. So he'll take half, the boss, and the other guy will take the full. All right.
No, that's what I do.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I apologize. How could I have
Taking his bit.
forgotten? So the 2 that are attacking Orlandis will do so recklessly.
Okay.
22 to hit and 20
Oh, yeah.
to hit.
Miss.
Yeah.
Well, it's good.
6 slashing, just kind of catches you on the shoulder
Ugh.
a little bit. And then the one that is fighting Lose will use a bonus action to Crushing Blow. Crushing Blow says he has +3 bonus to damage rolls on the next attack roll he hits within the next minute. 22 to hit.
Yeah.
That'll do 11 slashing damage. That's with the +3.
Oh, he still ain't shit.
It's a D12. I notoriously have stated that the D12 is the ugliest dice in the box. It's stupid. I don't like it. I don't like wide
alright.
variables for damage. Like I
Yeah.
want a nice compact
fair.
3D4. That's what I want. Because that's
That
nice.
bell curve, baby.
Oh yeah.
Because then you're guaranteed 3.
Yeah, but I'm averaging way better. Because yeah, I just
This time.
hate it. Anyway, keep doing it. Keep doing it. It's not mine. That's not mine. That's copyright. That's all my berserkers. So I'm gonna make my con saves at the end of the turn. For the leader, failure. He is still blind, and the other one will succeed. So, kind of being more quiet and cautious and focused, He kind of like pulls his helmet up and kind of rubs his eyes with his hairy arm sleeve, and he's fine. Orlandis.
Yes. Okay.
Actually, I just noticed the time, and this is actually not a bad stopping point. I don't think we're going to get through a full turn in 5 minutes. So let's focus on what we have on offer here. 9 more rounds of being blind with a con save at the end of each turn from the inflammatory batter. We have the bleed, which just happens until I stop it, right? Or gain hit points, correct?
It's there 1 minute.
1 minute? Okay, so then we have 8 more rounds on those. So go ahead and notate that. We have Spirit Guardians, which has been up for 1 turn, and it has 10 minutes, right?
It's proc twice, so I think
That's 2, so
8 turns.
8 turns
Yeah.
remaining. Is it 10 minutes or 1 minute?
It's 1 minute, I believe.
8 more turns of that then.
Yeah.
And then we have. That's it as far as concentration, durationals. Oh, Spirit Guardians.
No,
Yeah,
actually, Spirit
spiritual
Guardians
weapons.
is 10 minutes. So, yeah, Spirit Guardians is a long ass time.
Long ass time for Guardians, but the weapon is 1 minute, and it's been
Yeah,
out
so
for
that's. I think it's only had one turn.
attack.
Yeah, so
so
9
it's
more
got
rounds.
9 more rounds, and I'll go ahead and notate that as its hit point total on the token. Okay, any questions from, that's it for tonight. We will start off in the midst of the fight next session. Thanks for watching those that did, and we will see you next Friday.